Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday nights, the Tardis Zone Talks. Welcome. If anybody is not familiar with the format, what I'll do in a few minutes' time is put the link into the chat. I'll bring you on briefly for a couple of minutes to talk about the latest topics and give your points of view. So what we got lined up for you tonight? Well, we're obviously going to talk about the tragic passing away of Diana Rigg, who was obviously in the Crimson. Is it the Crimson Terror? I always get that name. Crimson Horror, yeah. Also, she was in Avengers and stuff like that. She just recently passed away. Also, we'll be discussing the rumors. Obviously, they're still flying around. There's other people. There's a bit of fighting going on Twitter as well over the whole rumor speculation. So we will be talking about that as well. If any of you guys would like to add on to that. Obviously, the big news that has come out is Jodie Whittaker and Monique Gill will be appearing at New York Comic Con. And as you can imagine, the other side, yeah, you know, it's funny, right? Because they say, look at the reaction of this side, right? But your reaction is spot on as well. He's already jumping through hoops and celebrating and stuff like this. Wow. All because she's gone to a Comic Con. And you all think that everything means it's fine. Just to remind people, Christopher Eccleston was going around for months after he was told he wasn't going to be continuing as the Time Lord, and he was doing interviews. So this by no means that she's going to be, even if she does come out and says that she's staying. Again, I will say to people out there that are celebrating and jumping through hoops, BBC have not officially announced anything, right? So my news and all other YouTubers that are doing news out there, nobody knows. They can't tell you 100% that yes, she's staying or no, she's going. Nobody can. And anybody out there that's claiming 100% that she is staying because they've read some articles or whatever it is, because you hear the J-Bots talking about reading articles. I'm sorry, reading an article from someone that says that they have sources, right, is like me as well doing it. You cannot say that this information is 100% accurate because BBC have not confirmed any of it. So that's all I want to say on that, because there are a few people out there bragging and gloating, and I don't know why you're bragging and gloating for, because nothing has been 100% confirmed. Magazines and articles and YouTubers like us come out with news like this all the time. It doesn't mean we're 100% accurate. So to those people that are kind of like, gloating and showing off, I wouldn't be gloating and showing off. It actually makes you come across as how do I put it? What's that when someone wins but they're a bad winner, right? That's what you are coming across as, bad winners right now, right? Nobody knows anything, and anybody claiming otherwise is lying to you, all right? Because that word seems to be bouncing about quite a lot, the lying word. Noel is lying. I haven't lied about anything. All I've said is that I've been given information and I've put it out there. Even Mr. Tardis Reviews has decided to punch down and have a pop at me. And yes, he actually retweeted one of my tweets, so there is no doubt that he was talking about me. Listen, you moron, if you've got anything to say to me, I've said it to you plenty of times, you come to me instead of punching down, you little twat, right? He accused me of deleting videos that I did last year of the rumors going around during Series 11. One particular video, the musical video that we did, yeah? Okay. Now, if anybody watched the musical video, you will see that I actually quote that this is not from my source. This is actually from someone that reported it on YouTube, and it was also on Twitter at the same time. Now, because they can't find the video, because this is what they wanted to do. See, as you know, I've been getting harassed the last few months. So I've taken steps that certain videos that I've done, right, which is a lot of them with me facing it, right, but especially the ones that I was doing Doctor Who news on, right, I've had to private, because these guys keep taking clips. They keep using them then against me on Twitter, and then it's basically what's happening is that particular account is is retweeting tweets, retweeting information, retweeting clips, whatever you want, and then I'm getting harassed because of it. That is why I've privated me videos, you moron. So if you've anything to say to me, say it to me face, and don't be punching down, you little twat. Right? Anything to say to me, say it to me face. You're quick enough to go around and slay everybody in this fandom, but as soon as you're pulled up for it, you run. Well, keep running, you little bitch. Nobody listens to you anyway. You're the toxic, vile piece of shit in this fandom. And I swear to good God, don't bring my name up. And Tardis as well, I just want to say you're piping up as well for some weird reason. Keep your nose out. I don't follow you. I've blocked your ass. Stop commenting on my tweets, all right? Because if you do, I'm going to comment back, right? And then you don't play the victim and say, oh, look at nose picking on me. If you retweet one of my tweets or leave a comment, right, slagging me off, that's what you get. It's as simple as that. I'm not playing with you fuckers anymore. So we'll be discussing those morons. We'll be discussing the rumors. We'll also be discussing the controversial movie Cuties that has been defended by some out there. I can't actually believe that some people are actually watching this movie. I've seen a couple of clips myself on Twitter. It's vile. It's disgusting. There's a little girl dry humping the ground with her finger, her thumb in her mouth, making a suggestive pose with her ass up in the air, and people think that's okay. People think that's okay. 650 girls, young girls auditioned for this, right? Surrounded by a bunch of paedophile men that would have been watching them, right? Doesn't highlight what Netflix and all of these critics are saying. I've seen some of the clips, right? And even some of the clips that I've seen, I would question, okay? They're not appropriate. They're inappropriate, right? It's something an adult woman would do for her boyfriend if they're sending videos or pictures to each other, right? Kids shouldn't be doing that. So we'll be discussing that as well. So if anybody has any opinions on that, please come on also. So we got a lot to discuss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link in the chat, I should say, and get you all on, start getting you on. How do I do this again? Oh, yeah. And then I think it's no, I'm doing it wrong. Right, hold on. Bear with me. So we do that, and then you'd think I would have had this just by now. There you go. Right, it's going in. It'll go in a couple of times. If you want to come in, leave a comment. As I said, give you about 7-8 minutes each. Try get through as many of you as we can. So we've already got one. So we'll wait until we build them up because it's not a panel. What I'll do is I'll bring each guest on for about, as I said, about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we move on to the next guest. So we have someone waiting. I'll just wait until the studio starts filling up a little bit. But the link is in the chat there. So if you want to come in and leave a comment, please do so. Oh, also, don't forget to check out Talk the Doctor tomorrow. Eddie has actually cancelled tonight's Talk the Doctor because there might be some incoming breaking news. So watch out for his stream tomorrow, by the way. So watch out for his stream tomorrow. The link is in the chat. If you want to come on, don't be shy. We've got a second person there now. Keep coming. I can hold 10 years in the studio. So as I said, the link is in the chat. I'll put it in again, put it in a couple of times. Please do join in because this doesn't work unless we get people to actually join in and to take part. So there you go. Link is in the chat again. Sorry about that. There's fireworks. Unfortunately, there's fireworks going off again. Poor dog. Yeah, he's not having it easy. I might go into the room actually, so we don't get disturbed. So Cheryl can put on the telly for him actually. That'll probably be best. So if you could just bear with me for 2 seconds, guys. Just bear with me for 2 seconds. I'm just going to move the computer into the room because if Cheryl puts the telly on, he'll be fine. Because it's not, because it's ridiculous. He's always bloody gone through fucking thing. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. You know, some people you just don't care that you have pets. You know, there's some people out there that see fireworks are legal here in Ireland, right? I know they might be legal. They might be legal in other countries, but for a country that's not used to, especially animals, you know, I mean, especially I hear as well, July 4th in America, they lose a lot of dogs because of the fireworks and stuff. Dogs run away from home and all, and it's not nice. It's not. People should have more consideration. Like on Halloween, I get it because, you know, everybody wants to do fireworks on Halloween, but do it on Halloween. You don't need to do it weeks up until the things is on, you know what I mean? And then weeks after, up until Christmas, there'll still be fireworks. So for these next 3 months, Ted is gonna be barky. Right, listen, I'm just gonna grab me a cup of coffee. I'm going to grab the rest of my stuff, but I'll bring on me first caller because he's waiting. And we'll let him talk, and then I'll go off, do what I have to, and then I'll come back and then I'll have a couple of questions. But we do have on the first first guest, we should say, for tonight is the one and only the Nerd Father. Welcome, Father Miller.
Greetings.
Actually have you here, pal. How are you?
Not too bad. I got a few errands to run, so I figured I'd pop on for a little bit.
No problem.
Talking about kitties, I've seen a few images and it makes me sick, but it reminded me of a better movie. I don't know if you're familiar with the American film Drop Dead Gorgeous.
I am indeed.
Love that movie. It's a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
I had to dig out my. My green screen is on. So I dug out my Avengers DVD.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Diana Rigg, Dame, I should say, Diana Rigg, sadly passed away. I was a bit shocked. I think it was cancer.
She was 81 or 82. I can't remember what it was. So, I mean, it's not exactly tragic.
I actually, believe it or not, I'm actually organized tonight. I actually did put it in my messenger. I knew someone would bring her up because she did star, obviously, in Doctor Who as well, as we know.
That's the one with the Paternoster gang, right?
Yeah, that's the one. What's it?
I'm not a huge fan of them.
Yeah, the Crimson Horror. I think that was the Crimson. I keep getting it wrong. Crimson Terror, Crimson Horror, whatever it's bloody called. Yeah, but here she is anyway. Hold on, because I've got a couple of photographs, obviously, that I
gotta say, it was a childhood crush.
And the actual post. So this is what was tweeted out, guys. So I'll read it for you there. Hold on. I obviously got it off a Doctor Who site because that's what we know are best for. But obviously I was old enough to remember the Avengers. So R.I.P. Dame Diana Rigg, who died this morning at age 82. She played Winifred Gillyflower in the Crimson Horror, but was amazing in so many other shows. The Avengers. She played Natalie Dormer's grandmother in Game of Thrones, if I'm correct. Mother Love, the Miss Bradley Mysteries, and the current remake of All Creatures Great and Small. And there she is there.
I am surprised. You know she's a Bond girl.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, nobody's mentioned that.
I love On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's one of my favorite Bond movies.
Unfortunately, I love it as well. But unfortunately, that movie it gets a bad rep. I don't know why. I actually think it's a great movie. But there she is.
I gotta say, I think that the theme is like in the top 5 of Bond songs.
Yeah, it is.
John
great.
Barry Orchestra, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good. Very good. I agree with you. I actually adore that movie. I think George Lazenby or Lazenby, whatever you call him, he's very
Yeah,
underrated. It was a good story. It's a good, solid story.
Savalas made a
Yeah.
good Blofeld.
And of course, to show you Doctor Who fans, you know exactly there's another one over there. And then, of course, this is what we would, or the younger viewers would remember as in the Crimson Horror. Obviously, there she is. May she rest in.
I would not have recognized her. I mean, I've seen the episode. I just didn't realize that was her.
Yeah, may
Mostly
she
because
rest
I'm used to her as Mrs. Peel.
Yeah. Mm.
So, we're streaming tomorrow.
We're still on. This is a new format that we're doing on a Friday nights now. It's called the Tardis Zone Talks. What we do is what I found was with the panel is when I bring a panel on, everybody seems to talk over each other, including myself. So I decided for a Friday nights, why not do something a bit chilled? Bring you on one-on-one, and then when the time's up, bring on the next guest. That way,
no problem.
They're saying, but is there anything else you'd like to add while I go and get me cup of tea? Is there anything else about the Jodie Whittaker announcement? How do you feel about? I might as well ask you because we've been getting through the last couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden, then we get this announcement that Jodie Whittaker and Manip Gill are going to feature at New York Comic Con. Now, the interesting thing about it is the way it was worded as well, by the way. They're only looking back. They're not looking forward. Now, that doesn't mean anything, to be honest, because they probably don't have anything ready for series tours. Well, we already know they don't because there's rumors now. The other rumor, obviously, is that they're actually going to be starting production in October. So I want to ask you about that as well because obviously there was the news during the week from myself and I don't know if there was others out there that did say that Doctor Who, there was a possibility. See, this is what the other side don't get. I say all these things, but they lose out the possibility. I said there was a possibility of postponement. I didn't actually say that the show was postponed. I said a possibility. But all of those things that I've just mentioned, what do you think, Father, the nerd father?
I think call me father. It doesn't matter. I think it's going to be a convenient excuse if they need to cancel it. Because I read this morning, what is it? France is up to 10,000 cases again, or something like that. So I think it's a good excuse if they don't want to go forward with Jodie as the Doctor, which I hope they don't. Still dumbfounded reading the Radio Times poll where Tom Baker only gets like 9% as the favorite Doctor of all time. Now,
well, that's the J-Bots. Listen, let's make this clear, right? The reason why that poll is so skewed is because the Jodie Whittaker fans have decided that they're going to split the vote. It doesn't matter, right?
They're probably too young.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Jodie Whittaker is still not going to come anywhere near the top of that poll, and that's the sad thing about it. She is the current Doctor, and she won't even make the top 5. It doesn't matter what you do. You can try rig. You try to do with my poll. Try rig as many polls as you want. It's not going to make BBC change their mind if they have a decision to make. Okay, yeah. So all these are little pathetic attempts to expose the fandom, as you call it, and all of this other rubbish that you do. In the long run, it's going to mean absolutely nothing because whether you like her or not, she's going to regenerate sometime. It's just nobody knows right now when that is. And anybody, as I said, that's coming out and saying 100% that she's staying for series 14 and 15 is lying to you because at the end of the day, nobody knows. There is no official confirmation. So nobody can say that they know for a fact that they're staying when BBC themselves haven't even come out and said whether there's going to be whether series 14 or 15 is even going to be able to be put into production. Or even if they do it, that she's going to be even part of it. So nobody could say that. Yes, we do know because of the HBO Max and the deal with China that they have commissioned Doctor Who up until a certain point. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's commissioned with Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall at the helm. I think a lot of fans keep forgetting that as well. BBC will make the right choice. BBC will make a choice if there's a decision if a decision needs to be made. And this New York Comic Con, I'm streaming live, so join me because
I will. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a panel for that one. Don't worry. Definitely.
I think it's going to be a hate watch. I like hate watching.
No, I'm not hate watching. I'm not. I'm actually.
No. I meant hate watching towards Jodie because it was not the show.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I'm not watching even to hate watch her. I'm watching because I want to hear what they have to say. Because everything that they say, we will have to listen to the sentences, especially coming from Jodie Whittaker herself, about and the way she talks. Now, listen, she's gonna come out. I can already predict it, right? So nobody jumping through hoops. She's already gone to say, and so will many, that both of them are going to be here for Series 13, right? No need for anybody to be jumping through hoops. As I said, right, she might come out with it, Manib might come out with it, but until the BBC actually give an interview to the Radio Times or whatever it is, whoever they're going to break the news to say, yes, she is actually staying on, well, then it's all rumor and speculation.
Exactly.
And that's what those articles are that have come out and said that she's filming soon. It's rumor and speculation. They do not know 100%. Nobody does. And by the way, for people that are unaware, England looks like it might be on its way to a second lockdown. Now, I know it's Doctor Who's in Wales, but that could actually cause an awful lot of problems with travel-wise getting to Wales. Okay? Mm-hmm. Not only that, they're going to be restricted. Dublin, I'm told, Cheryl told me today, that Dublin is considering going into a second lockdown. Listen, I said September, we'd all be back in lockdown again because we opened up too soon. I don't care where you stand on the virus thing or not. If we were going to do this, we should have stayed in lockdown till Christmas and wait until the new year to come out of lockdown. But everybody...
We're going nuts.
But listen, everybody wanted to get the economies going, and I understand that. That's fine, fair enough. But we'll see if we'll regret it. You know what I mean? No. We'll see how many more people have to die.
Well, the only other thing I'll say before I head out is, if you kept it locked down for much longer, I think you'd see an increase in suicides because mentally it's really having an effect on a lot of people.
I know. Trust me. I know, Father. I suffer with depression myself. This has not. I can honestly tell you that this lockdown has not been easy. It hasn't, but, you know, I have found, and I think everybody does, that's what's great about us as human beings. We find a way to overcome all of these things. Listen, it's been a shit year. It's probably been the worst year of my life, to be honest, of all the times that, you know, of the amount since I've been born, right? And trust me, I've lived through recessions. Right, but I've never seen anything this bad. But you know what? It will go in. It'll be ticked off as another year, right? And that's it. I'll move on. I'll move on. And if 2021 ends up being the same, so be it. Listen, right now we're being tested as human beings, right? That's the way I'm looking at it. We're being tested, right? And this is their time. This is their time to stand up and to make a difference, like the people did in the past before us, right? This is our time. This is our test. So let's come through it with some dignity, and also, you know, we don't listen. There's a lot of cabin fever going on. You see it. Every argument has been overhyped because of all of this, right? You just need to chill. Take 5 minutes for yourself. Go off somewhere. Whatever, or go off, read a book, whatever it is, go for a walk, get fresh air. You do something. Do not sit at home. And if you need to talk to someone, trust me. I know a voice, hearing someone's voice makes the world of difference. So if you are sad and depressed out there, listen, we get you, we feel you, we're all the same. But don't think you're alone. You're not. Pick up.
That's why we're doing these things. That's why I started doing my own stuff too.
Exactly. Just look at, we're all here for each other, and if you need us, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, we're all here, and that's what's got me through it. You guys and the wife, and obviously doing stuff and keep myself busy. But yes, I will admit this has been the worst year of my whole existence. But I'm not going to let it define me, and it shouldn't define any of yous either. Don't let this year be the defining year of us all. Let's rise above all the bullshit that's going on right now, and let's strive to make the world a better place. If we really want to, we can. That's the thing that annoys me. We really can. What people are doing right now is not the solution. But I'll say no more on that because I don't want to get into a whole political debate.
That's okay. I'm going to pop off so others can pop on.
No problem. Listen, Father, you're on with me tomorrow anyway.
Yeah. So just send me what time is it?
We go at around 7. So it's 7 o'clock sharp. But I'll send you the link.
Yeah, sounds good. We have the funeral for the officer that died tomorrow morning, so I'll be watching that. So I'll see you all later.
No problem, Father. And you look after yourself. And thanks for coming on. Happy weekend. Right, let's bring him on. He's been waiting. We're going to keep rolling. So you know what the kind of the format is. You have seen it. So if you want to join in, I will put the link in the chat again. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to refresh this, because the chat has paused. And you are probably asking to come on. Right. Wow. I thought that was going to end badly there. Right. We're back. So I could see, I didn't even know that there was other. See, that's what I'm saying. There was loads of people that I didn't see in the chat. So there we go. We're back. Right. So we got loads of guests waiting. So I'm going to bring on our next guest. But you know what we're talking about now. So if you just want to fly straight into it and give your opinion. And then if I've got a question to add on to it, I will then ask you. I will put the link in again. Oh, there, Chris has already done it for me because he's a legend. Thank you, Chris. Listen, even if there's panelists that are on the weekend, if you want to come on and give us our 2 cents, come on and give us our 2 cents. This won't work unless a lot of you actually come on. But we do have our next guest, and he's super. It's Super John. Welcome,
Hello,
Super John.
How are you?
I'm not too bad, pal. Listen, we've got a lot to dissect, a lot to go through. So I'll where would you like to start?
Well, I'd like to start off by the rumours. Nothing set in stone at the moment, and it's not worth jumping to conclusions because we don't really know if she's staying or what's happening.
Exactly. That's why I've been more cautious this year, because last year I was so adamant, and I'm not making that same mistake again. Listen, I have been told by me sources, right? And I've got, by the way, I don't just have one source. I have multiple sources, but that's besides the point. But the thing about it is this is what I'm getting from them all, is that nobody knows, right? Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows when they're going to be filming. Nobody knows whether Whittaker is going to be staying around or whether she's gone. Nobody knows. Listen, there's different factions within this whole mess, right? So there's going to be information leaked, right? And this is the thing, as Super John has said, you can't be jumping to conclusions because nobody knows. I'm putting the information out there, yes, but I'm not telling you that this is 100% going to happen. I've made it clear that it's rumor and speculation, and until BBC make any official announcement, that's all it should be. But go on, John, because I don't want to take up your time anyway. But
it's all right. It's okay. It's just because everything, the way things is going at the moment, everything's uncertain at the moment with this bug going about. Well, I can't say on.
Well, do you remember that delightful little panel that we did, Army of Ghosts?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. What happened? Yeah, guess what happened? It was limited like all the other streams, right? But I went to appeal this one. You guys
Yeah.
are not going to absolutely believe this, right? But a stream that we were talking about Doctor Who on Army of Ghosts, it wasn't suitable for advertisers.
Right.
So basically, Dave, basically, this is what they've done. I can't make any revenue off that video, basically. They've limited. It's done.
That's a bit tricky.
It's ridiculous. Like I think see, this is what I say. We have to say beer bug, and I have to insist, right? Anybody comes on and wants to make reference to the situation, please. I know sometimes people slip up, and that's fine. I'm not going to give out about slip ups, but please do not mention the thing that mustn't be mentioned. Call it the beer bug or whatever you want, whatever alternative you have yourselves. Right, go on anyway, Super John.
It's just because everything's uncertain now, and even if they say that they're filming in 2 weeks, that can change. That can get put back. It could get delayed even further, and it could be 2023 before Doctor Who gets broadcast again.
Yeah, they are saying 2022. That if it does happen, it'll be delayed to 2022. Again, we are living this. See, this is uncertain. If there was no beer bug, well, this would be very straightforward. But because there is, it's not. And
but we have to look at Series 12 and the advertisement for that. I mean, look, we never get anything for that, and it was just wee dabs of information, and it was just only some sources leaking that information out, but we never got any kind of anything to go on.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you though, because obviously that production news is obviously the latest news that has broken. But the other big news that did break was, of course, we are going to get an appearance from Jodie Whittaker and Maneve Gill. Now, I want to just say this. It's about time, right?
Yeah, it's about time we've done something.
No, but listen, this is the biggest problem I've had with Jodie Whittaker. It's not just our acting, but this is another issue I have. Now, her fans will say that she is delightful with the fans, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I honestly don't see it. She's not on social media, so I don't know how you can claim that she's interacting with the fans. She done a couple of videos during the bug, right? That's it. She's done really nothing since then. She did the HBO interview, right? But she hasn't really done anything much herself. So this, to me, is good news, right? And it's not good news because it'll give me something to moan about. It's good news because Jodie Whittaker is putting herself out there. And I want to actually listen to the woman. I want to hear what she has to say. Because everything that she does say, there seems to be a little bit of controversy with it. And this is why I'm watching. Because I want to hear what she has to say. Because the last thing that she said at an interview is that, oh, it's great that the Doctor is female now because, little girls don't have to cut their hair anymore to look like the Doctor, to play the Doctor. What are you talking about? Little girls never went out to cut their hair to cosplay as the Doctor. It's stupid little statements like that I don't like. But I want to actually hear how she feels about her own era so far, because she's looking back. There's nothing about looking forward, by the way, which I find a bit odd. Now, people will say, but Series 13 isn't in production yet. Why would they talk about something that's not? Yeah, but there is a Christmas or festive special, whatever you want to call it. So why aren't they talking about that? Now, I wanted to ask you, John, do you think actually at this Comic-Con we'll get a trailer? It's another thing I wanted to ask you. And how do you feel about Jodie Whittaker and Maneve Gill actually doing this Comic-Con? Are you like me? This is a bit of good news because, I think all we've ever wanted is more. Listen, if she came out a bit more, listen, this is the point. We only get interviews here and there, right? When she comes out, she always says something decisive. But she was in the fandom all the time and interacting with the fandom all the time. We'd probably get to know her a little bit better. And then know that when she's saying things, that she doesn't mean it in this way, but she actually means it that way. See, you got to get to know a person to understand them. We don't know Jodie, but I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about her making an appearance?
Well, at least it's something, because I mean, we've been getting nothing for a long time, and she hasn't had a special relationship with the fans from day one. It was insult after insult, and she done nothing to reassure the fans that were in doubt. Now, Matt Smith, he was on top of it right away, and Stephen Moffat was on top of it right away. And when I just saw that clip at the end of time with Matt Smith in it, I was completely sold. I said, "That's the Doctor. That's him. That's him." I could just see the character there. And when I saw the 11th hour, I mean, the performance just blew me away. It was just, that was the Doctor, and I was eager to watch the rest of series 5.
Yeah,
and all the fears about maybe he was too young for the role, but it was irrelevant. But with Jodie Whittaker, it's the problem is the Doctor was played by a male for a long time, and it's a man and a woman are totally different, and they can act different, perform different. And because there's a difference there, that it's not exact. It would be a difficult job to take on Doctor Who.
Yeah,
because of what's went before.
Yeah, it is. It is. We know it's not entirely her fault, and
it's not her fault.
It all keeps saying about Matt Smith doing the research. Listen for a minute, right? And then someone said that Matt Smith wasn't a fan. We know Matt Smith wasn't a fan, but Matt Smith had the intelligence to go and do the research. So he got some understanding. If I'm correct in saying he watched the story from each Doctor. Now, I'm not saying that Jodie Whittaker had to go and watch a story from each Doctor. Now, we do know that she did watch after the fact, because she did say in a podcast with David Tennant way back with David Tennant's podcast that she did watch, and she got a bit scared. Because she didn't realize the enormity. You didn't realize the enormity of Doctor Who. It's a British institution. See, she says little things like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't wash with me. I'm sorry. You mean to tell me that you were that shielded that you never knew? You said you knew of Doctor Who, so you mean to tell me you didn't know it was a British institution? I disagree. I'm putting that link again in the chat if anybody wants to join. We have a few more guests talking. I see nobody wants to really talk about cuties, so if that's something that you still want to talk about, just let me know in the chat. But there is an awful lot of controversy. I just thought some people would want to add their 2 cents, but it doesn't seem like anybody does. I don't blame you. It's literally disgusting. But
yeah, it's disgusting. I don't want to talk about it either.
Yeah, there's journalists out there justifying this, so that's all that we need. That tells me. Was there anything else you'd like to add before I bring on the next guest?
It was the shock death of Diana Rigg. I mean, she was a really good actress as Emma Peel, and she's done multiple things. And she appeared in James Bond, and it was just a shock to kind of hear that. I always thought that if there was a female Doctor Who, she would be good at it, and that's being honest. She would fulfill the part, and so would Joanna Lumley would have filled the part very good. And an actress like that would have a clue how to take on a role such as Doctor Who. But Jodie Whittaker hasn't done the type of serious roles that would be acquired for the likes of a charismatic part as the Doctor, and comedic. It would be very difficult, and that's how she's struggling. See that Jodie struggles in every performance that she does with the Doctor.
Yeah, I don't think there's been one standout performance, I have to be honest, and that's another problem that I have. But, obviously to the other side, she does have standout performances. listen, as I said to Mr. Tardis Reviews, and I'll say it out straight, you know, just because you fans have lowered your standards for identity, politics, and agenda doesn't mean that the rest of us have. We have a certain standard, and soap writers, as you pointed out, they need the experience, and we're giving out about it. Well, okay. You can have some inexperienced writers with some experienced writers. Chris Chibnall, you would think, would be experienced, but he has proven that he's not. But again, it all boils down to the fact, you moron, that you know, we haven't lowered our standards. You have, and the rest of you have, because you would, have sacrificed that, as I said, in favor of identity politics and all of this other rubbish that you want to inject into Doctor Who. And that's the bottom line. And no way, as a Whovian or a Doctor Who fan, am I ever going to lower my standards for anything, right? Doctor Who should be at a certain level. It's not. 7 million households walked away. Try spin your way out of that, you moron.
And right, I've seen the toys are not selling it. It's just not popular anymore, and magazines are not popular.
He'd spin a bleeding. Listen, he could spin a wet paper bag around a tiny room, and he'd still make it. You know, like everything is rosy. Get away! He hasn't got a clue.
The problem is you need the right person in charge, and when the right person's not in charge, they'll not have a clue how to kind of operate the program. And even for John Nathan Turner way back in the 80s, and it was difficult for him to comply storylines and put them all together, and to kind of try and manage that show.
Yeah.
And he was doing it and no more. And you could see he was struggling with that as well. But that's why it kind of got a lot of stick from the Michael Grade, and thought it was kind of a bit cheap and cheesy and all that, because basically they're running out of ideas at that time and running out of money. It just fell flat, the show.
Except it's the opposite way around this time. They've got plenty of money, but they just no ideas, good ideas. Well, John, listen, it's been absolutely wonderful having you on.
Brilliant.
I'm going to bring on my next guest. But again, if you want to be on next Friday, you know what to do. And I will see you the weekend for the watch-alongs.
Yeah, obviously. No bother, no.
But don't forget, guys, and thanks, John. But don't forget, this is the new format for Friday nights. We do this a couple of hours before Friday Night Tights. It's a bit of a warm-up, you might as well say. But we won't be just talking Doctor Who. We'll also be talking other issues. But because Doctor Who right now is centre and focus, that's why we're concentrating on Doctor Who. I'm going to say goodbye to John, and I'm going to bring on my next guest. John, thank you for coming on, pal.
Right. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. I'll see you later, pal. Okay. Let's bring on our next guest. He's a human being, but he's got a problem, and he's obviously he's going to have a lot to say, because I haven't had him on obviously in a while, but he's obviously going to have a lot to say about the recent news, and it'd be interesting to see what he has to say. So here he is, the one and only Problem Being.
Greetings. Hello, Chad.
Greetings. And we have, just before Lee does start, we have Charlotte, Retro Doc, and Scottish Davros waiting in the wings. If you would like to be part of tonight's show and be a guest,
do it.
Do it now. I'm about to put it, because I'm trying to do this myself, so I don't rely on other people to do it for me. But there you go. I'm actually getting better at it. The link is in the there for you. Right, Lee, a lot to get through, so I don't know where you want to start, but
well, it's been.
Remember, we have other guests on as well.
Yeah, now. Of course. I know. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. It's a crazy week. Surprise, surprise. Just one of many. Well, I think what the Mirror reported about the delay till 2022 does smack true. It does seem to fit in very much with what Davey has been saying behind the scenes. It does seem to smack true the fact that it seems, well, I say fact, but it seems that cast and crew have not been told anything. They should be filming around this time, but haven't been informed they're supposed to be filming, so there's nothing happening. Bearing in mind as well that another production from another production company, Canal TV, are currently filming in Wales since July. I think July 12th. I think they started filming War of the Worlds season 2.
Yeah,
not the BBC one, but the Canal TV one. So I mean, they've been filming since July.
Yes, true.
So it seems to me that whatever the rules are in place in Wales, they're abiding by it, and they're managing to start filming and cracking on.
So what's the problem with Doctor Who?
Precisely.
Yeah.
This is why it doesn't seem to smack true to me. I think there is just definitely something going on there behind the scenes that we're not privy to.
There's definitely something going on, right? But nobody knows. And I think that's the point I've been, even though I've been putting this information out, because last year I got sucked
Connect the dots.
Listen, I got sucked up in the emotion of it all last year, right? And I truly, everybody knows how I feel about Jodie Whittaker. So of course I want the information to be true.
Sure do. But I think Davey understands that.
I even said to me, I'm not making the same mistake again. I'm just reporting. Now, I'm not saying she's going. For all I know, she probably is signed up for series 13, 14, 15, right? And if she is, well, then I'll have 3 glorious years of fucking moaning and crapping about it. Won't I?
So as will we all.
Either way, it doesn't bother me. My channel's still going to be around here. And I think the other side don't realise that, right? At the end of the day, right, whether she stays or goes is irrelevant to me. I'm still going to be around and talking about it.
That's right?
But nobody knows. And anybody saying 100%, saying that this is 100% that she's staying, they cannot guarantee that. I'm sorry. Even if she's staying, I'm not getting burnt again, but I'm not going to let other people that pulled me up about doing that, and I see those people doing it now. Don't be doing it. You can't come out and say 100% because you read an article in a magazine.
Well, look. Fandom. I mean, particularly Doctor Who, which is, let's face it, the oldest fandom in the world. Regards to pop culture. Listen, we've always had a culture of rumors and sources and such and such said such and such, and it's all. I mean, we thrive on things like this, especially when we got someone like Chibnall, who is so absolutely cold and silent. I mean, it leaves a vacuum really for us to kind of try and fill.
Exactly. It's been happening for decades. I know these people on the other side, because I'm being attacked on Twitter, being called a liar and all this. And I keep saying it. I don't think these guys realise that this kind of thing has been going on in fandom.
Listen, you're only reporting what your source has told you. And your source is the same source that told you about Dewan being the master. It was the same source that told you other things that came true, about the Timeless Child thing coming true. So they can whinge all they like. But I mean,
they pick up on the news that I obviously got wrong. Because obviously, I did burn myself and people did say I get burnt. And I took that. And I did. And I said I would if I got it wrong. And I got it wrong last year about them leaving. But I will still maintain this. And I'm not backing down on this. Up until the point them two were gone.
Well, I mean, it was even reported on BBC Radio that there was trouble behind the scenes at Cardiff. So we know something happened. Whether or not it's as we've been told by you and your source. But hey, it's what we've got. And they don't have anything better, really.
Exactly. I'm not saying it's true. All I'm just saying is, listen, this is just source information that I've received. You can take it with it. I'm telling you, until it's either dismissed or confirmed, it's rumor and speculation. And
well, we've got Hugh full of crap on the Radio Times saying that the filming is about to start any minute now, kind of thing. He's a massive shill. He might be privy to information that we might not be, but hey, I don't think he is going to be anyone who knows anymore. The Radio Times used to be the BBC's TV magazine. It isn't anymore, but he is their shill. He might be, or he's clearly sided with BBC Cardiff, but unfortunately, BBC Cardiff are not in charge of the BBC. Who is in charge of the BBC? Well, it's Tim Davie. He's the former head of BBC Studio, the commercial wing of the BBC. He was one responsible for marketing Doctor Who and Top Gear to America and worldwide to great success. He's clearly got his eye on Doctor Who because he knows how good that show can be and how profitable it is.
Yeah, exactly. Just look at what we've been saying as Doctor Who fans for these especially these last few years, is that BBC don't realise the potential of this show, the amount of money they could actually make if they just sat down for just 1 second. And I'm not saying they should listen to every single fan complaint, but they should listen. They should at least listen and then try do something that is in response to that criticism, to try move forward positively. Look, this show has the potential to be the next Game of Thrones. Remember how big Game of Thrones was? Doctor Who can be that big. It can be one of the most successful shows in the world if they only just got the right people that involved.
It could be massive again. The trouble is,
Doctor Who people, just people that have a love of writing and developing characters, right? This is the one major flaw of the Chris Chibnall era. Every single character in his...
Well, what fans of this era don't realise is that this era has actually caused a great deal of harm. We've lost the general audience. Once the general audience goes and they start seeing how we're reacting with each other, they are put off. They are very put off. They don't like being preached at. They've switched off. Look, even EastEnders was down to just over 3 million viewers. Like the BBC's biggest soap opera is in massive, massive trouble. Now, if that's in massive trouble, you bet Doctor Who is in massive trouble as well. Not only that. Listen,
to swing that though and say that this proves that actually Doctor Who's a success, that EastEnders is actually struggling.
No, because this has happened now, right? It's come back now, and people are not watching.
No.
Now, listen, we haven't seen the fallout of the Timeless Child story from the season finale, so we don't know how many more people have logged out of the show. They're just gone because of what happened in that story. So it really will be very interesting to see how this special performs. I don't see it doing very well. I'll stick my neck out on that and say I don't think it's going to attract very many viewers. Now, having said that, we don't know what's going to happen at the end of this finale. There are obviously rumours abound on this one. But what I will say is, with Gary Lineker's response to Tim Davie about telling people to knock it on the head with their Twitter politicalization, he has acted against that and is sticking two fingers up at Tim Davie. I think this is going to stick in his craw. We don't know yet how he's going to perform. Now, we've seen what he's capable of. Sorry, losing my voice. What he's capable of with the marketing side of Doctor Who and Top Gear. So we've seen what he can do. Now, is he going to be the hatchet man that I think he is? Is he going to be the one to trim the fat? Has he got teeth? This is the important thing. It's him against the entire bureaucracy of the BBC, which is overrun with common purpose and their acolytes. It's him against that. So it's a massive, massive thing that he has to do. Now, has he got the teeth to do it? Now, we know he's going to be joined very soon by a new chair of the BBC. The new chair of the BBC will be appointed by Boris's government. So you've got names like Andrew Neil being touted around and all the rest of it. So we don't know yet who that's going to be, but we do know it's going to be someone sympathetic with Tim Davie. So that's a couple of people in the top positions there who are in a position to change the BBC. Now, whatever happens, the BBC has to change because the BBC is going to be forced to change. The license fee is going. The BBC has to change to become a commercial brand. And Tim Davie obviously was the head of the commercial arm of the BBC. So he's obviously there to oversee that transition. It's going to happen. So things like Doctor Who and things like these comedy shows, these these comedians who are, always making jokes about Trump and Boris and Brexit and all the rest of it, is not representative of the entire nation. Whether you agree or disagree with those people, they are not representative. And the way that the BBC's gone, the way that the BBC is putting programs out there which are being, which have now got lawsuits against them for lying to the general population, this is something that's going to catch his eye. Now, considering his involvement with Doctor Who and Top Gear and things like that, he is definitely going to take an interest in Doctor Who, regardless. Okay. He is in a position of power. He needs to show that he's in a position of power, so he's got to exercise that. Will he or won't he? This is the big question. Is he going to be an animal with teeth, or is he going to be a toothless, gum-filled animal that's dead in the water? We have to wait and see. But I think if he gets bolstered by the chair, he can definitely swing this around. I can't see him letting this fly by any stretch of the imagination. And I do think that it's quite interesting that after your source said that this will be forced to be put into a delayed production, and now is reported in the Mirror as being delayed till 2022, does seem a bit coincidental. But when you got people like Hugh Fullerton, who counters that and says, no, they're going into production, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I really doubt it. I think if they were going to production, they would have started already. As I said, War of the Worlds from Canal Studios has already started filming in Wales.
That's what I mean. Fullerton, but hold on, you make a great point there. And I just want to bring it on, and then you can continue.
Yeah, sure.
Hugh Fullerton, and then you said the Mirror have both conflicting stories there. So again, as
and the Mirror is a left-leaning paper.
Sources are getting conflicting information as well. I told you this a few days back. I said everybody was getting conflicting. Nobody could tell you.
Well, we got two conflicting sides within the BBC. Okay, we got the commercial arm of the BBC and Tim Davies' side, and then you've got the rest of the BBC, which is the public-owned BBC, which is what BBC Cardiff belongs to. So they're all on board with the common purpose messaging. But Tim Davie is not. So I think there is a wrestle for control. I think the public arm of the BBC is running out of steam because at the end of the day, I hate saying that expression, but at the end of the day, I said twice, it's going to have to become a commercial business to survive. And that's what he's there to do. He's there to be the hatchet man. He's there to trim the fat. He's there to make it a leaner BBC. He's going to get rid of a lot of things in order to streamline it. He's going to want to make things commercially viable. Doctor Who in its current state is not commercially viable. Jodie Whittaker simply is not selling products. She's not selling toys. She's not selling anything. The promotion from BBC Cardiff and from the Doctor Who production is so thin on the ground and tight-lipped. And not ingratiating itself with pretty much most of the fandom, or even supporters of this era. They are getting nothing. This Comic-Con is a year or two too late because we've seen nothing from them, really, apart from the odd couple of online interviews and things like that. She's been very quiet. She's also got another production she's starting soon. She's producing and appearing in her own film that she's doing a crowdfunding thing for, which starts soon. Like, I think, is it next month or this month or something?
Yeah, starts. So how could she do that? And
precisely.
Then Doctor Who at the same time.
Precisely. I think there's more than meets the eye here. To me, it smacks of someone who's already making their nest elsewhere.
It's actually weird that you actually say that because I was having a conversation, as I always do. I keep in touch with me, and you know what? That's that point that you just had to bring it up and the way you're just had to putting it is exactly the way they kind of put it to me today.
You just need to put the pieces in place.
Yeah,
It doesn't ring true about them going ahead and it's all going to be fine. I think this is just them grasping at straws to try and cover their asses and try and sit on the lid for a while before it pops. And I think that it's only a matter of time before the truth comes out, and we just have to sit tight.
Listen, either way, I at this stage now, I'm just at the stage where, look, if there's an announcement to be made, just make it now.
I'm not saying she's going.
Yeah,
I'm saying that I think she's busy. She's got something else coming up. She's going to be busy for a year. They might give it a year. She might fulfill her contract to do season 13, quite possibly. Personally, I think she has other things on her mind that she wants to do. I think she wants to go. I think all this stuff about her holding on for, dear life or whatever it is, it rings hollow to me. I think that she's just saying what she needs to say, what she's been told to say. I personally think that she's kind of like getting itchy feet anyway. I get that feeling. I don't think she's particularly enamored with the fandom.
Where did you bring that up? Because I do get that sense as well. But again, this could be all applied by Whittaker and friends.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, the BBC has got to change. The culture of the BBC has got to change. It's becoming a commercial company very, very soon. Tim Davie is in charge. Tim Davie is the former head of the commercial arm of the BBC. He's now in the top position. He is the one who has to steer the ship into making it viable. By doing that, he has to trim the fat. He has to change the culture within the BBC in order to make it set sail and become commercially viable and to make money. And that's what he's good at doing. He's a marketing man. He's there with the interest of the BBC making money. And to do that, he has to improve the quality of the product. They can't sit on their laurels and think, well, it's just a brand, shove a Doctor Who logo on something and it will sell. Even the logo, even the branding puts people off buying this stuff. The man is not an idiot, okay? He's going to see all of these numbers. He's going to see what people are saying. He's going to have eyes on this, and he's going to be watching what people are saying. He's going to be fully aware of where this is at, because he's had an invested interest in Doctor Who in the past already. He knows what it can do. He knows where it is now, and I think he's got a plan, and I think he's laying down the law. And regardless of what BBC Cardiff are saying, regardless of what anyone from the rest of the BBC are saying, it's immaterial, because the change is coming within the BBC regardless. So they can crow all they like, but a change has to happen in order for it to become viable, and it's not at the moment. And he has to move on this quick, and he has to show he's not bluffing, because at the moment he's being mocked in the press for saying all these wonderful things. But then you've got people like Gary Lineker just going, look at me, I can say what I like. For now, maybe, mate. But, I don't think your job's particularly safe either right now.
Great. Well, thank you for that, Lee. As usual, you always like to go into detail, but I love that about you, because people might know about common purpose and stuff like that. So it's good that
just type in Google common purpose BBC and you'll see for yourself.
Right. Well, listen, I'm gonna have to bring on my next guest because we have people waiting. But listen, I will see you again the weekend as well. And by the way, I do have the second Lower Decks episode. So we will do the two, as we said.
That's right.
We'll throw it out. I'm going to try watch them tonight.
And we need to do our Father Ted watch along as well with Rabbi and Father.
Well, listen, we have this is the last watch along. This is the last weekend until Rabbi comes back of the watch alongs of Doctor Who. So we might do them in between that. Instead. Right, but Lee, thanks for coming on.
No worries. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye. actually, if you guys wouldn't mind waiting, I want to bring on the guest that's on last, Jody Hater, because he's not actually a Jody Hater. He's actually Andrew Jones, who does be trolling myself and Ballstreck. He's a fan of Jodie Whittaker. So I think it's only fair to get a little bit of balance. I'll give him the opportunity to come on if he can actually behave himself. If he behaves himself, he can make his points of view. But obviously, he'll want to talk about the news with Jodie Whittaker. So let's see what he has to say. So I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to bring him on for a couple of minutes because I don't think this is going to last very long, to be quite honest with you, because he doesn't like me. So let's see what happens. Are you ready? If you're ready, thumbs up. Right, he's ready. Right, here he is.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Andrew.
Hello.
Right, go on. You've got your few minutes. What would you like to say?
Oh, sorry. You.
Do you want to say something?
Okay. Oh, miss. Come on, Warnock.
Right, Andrew, you're on live. Is there anything you would like to say?
Yeah, there's more.
Go on. Take your time. Take your time. It's fine. Say what you need to say. Go on.
I can see you. Oh, yeah, as you hate me.
Right, if you're gonna come on now and start ranting and raving, then I'm
What will
gonna.
you do?
If you wanna come on and discuss the news, the what we've been talking about, you're more than welcome to discuss that. But if you're gonna get personal, I'll have to remove you. So because listen, just hear me out for a second, because we have younger viewers that listen to me. Okay, so we can't have any misbehavior. So if you've got anything to say about the latest news, Jodie Whittaker appeared in a Comic-Con, or the rumors that she might be leaving or staying, this is your opportunity. So is there anything you'd like to discuss on that?
Well, she's staying for season 13 anyway.
Right, so you think she's staying for Series 13?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 years now, innit?
Right, and then when do you think she's going to leave?
Well, after that, which is
You think she'll leave after Series 13?
yeah,
And how do you feel? How do you feel about the news that she's going to be appearing on New York Comic Con?
well,
Are you happy about that?
yeah. It's going to be from home anyway.
Say that again. Sorry.
It's probably going to be from home, innit? She's not actually going to New York, is she?
Well, no, it'll probably be like this. It'll be on computers. Yeah, she won't be in New York.
Not anyway.
Is there anything else you would like to say about Jodie Whittaker?
Well,
I know you're a bit nervous, so that's why I'm giving you all the time, so you can relax. I'm not going to give out or anything like that, or shout at you or anything. I'm just trying to get your point. I'm just trying to get your point of view.
well,
Because that's what I do on this channel. I get everybody's point of view. I want to come on, so I'm giving you the opportunity to actually give your point of view about the series. Right, listen, we know you like the series. Can I ask you why you like the current era of Doctor Who? What is it about Jodie Whittaker's Doctor that you like?
I don't know. I don't actually
Oh, you don't like Jodie Whittaker's Doctor?
anymore. No, because he ruined it, didn't he?
Right, so, okay. Well then,
So
okay, so you think Chris Chibnall has ruined it? Is it because of Timeless Children?
yeah.
Okay. And what makes you angry about that?
Well, Chrissy's saying there's more doctors before William Hartnell.
Right, and that upsets you.
Yeah, like you said.
right? But could you understand why I am upset also
Yeah.
when they do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you don't like about the current day? What is it just the timeless children, or do you think Chris Chibnall's the right person to take this show forward?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like you. At this stage, I don't think anybody knows, do they?
No.
And
This whole splitting the fandom reminds me of Tardis City a couple of years ago
yeah,
when they changed their shit to.
listen, Doctor Who. Listen. The one thing about Doctor Who is, though, Andrew, is Doctor Who will one day be a great show again, right?
Yeah.
Right now, what's happening is that we have people in there that just don't care about the show, and we need more fans like you to come out and actually, pull Chris Chibnall up on this. It's Chris Chibnall that actually, failed Jodie Whittaker. I'm not blaming Jodie Whittaker on everything, right? It's not all her fault either. It's not. She was given the role, she was told to play the role a certain way. That's not her fault. That's Chris Chibnall. I mean, if you could choose, if you were going to choose someone to play the Doctor for you, Andrew, who would you pick as the Doctor?
I don't know. Anyway, if I could have anyone.
You just want anybody at this stage, isn't it? Sounds like you just want you take anybody at this stage. Yeah. You do seem, I have to be honest, you do seem upset about this era, which is surprising. Because
I started defending it.
Well, look, it will get better again.
I was the one who started defending it.
Yeah, but listen. There's nothing wrong with that. Listen, Andrew. Listen. Come here for a minute, right? You liked something at first. Nobody's ever going to criticize you for liking this era, right? There are people out there that do like it, right? You'd never be criticized for liking it. I mean, people, listen for a minute, right? I actually thought, and people on this channel will tell you this, I actually thought Spyfall Part 1 was actually a decent Doctor Who episode, right? I actually thought Series 12 was going to be an improvement. And you know what? It was. It was actually an improvement. It was an improvement up until he did The Timeless Children and he destroyed everything, right? He destroyed it all, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so angry because, it didn't need to happen like this. I mean, we could be sitting here now having a joke and a laugh about how great the show is. You be telling me about who your favorite Doctor is, we'd be talking about Doctor Who in a positive way, but we don't. Can I ask you though, are you gonna watch Jodie Whittaker and Manip Gill on the Comic-Con?
Yeah.
And can I ask you, are you excited at all if they show a Doctor Who trailer?
Yeah, just to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
With the Daleks, isn't it?
Because the Daleks are in it, yeah. Well, listen, Andrew, unless there's anything else you want to add.
Well, I agree with that Netflix film as well.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
No.
I have to be honest.
I have seen it.
You have seen it?
Yeah.
All right.
Is
it? Can I ask you, without going into details, is it as bad? Is it as bad as people are saying? Yeah.
Yeah. I have cancelled Netflix, but it took like a month because it was on Sky Q with me.
Yeah.
And because it was on that, I couldn't just cancel it straight away.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. Netflix should have more sense anyway, to be quite honest with you. But listen, this is the world we're living in right now, Andrew, unfortunately. And that's why we need people like yourself to complain, and if people are cancelling on Netflix, I think that's the only way that we can get the message across. But you want to show me something, is it?
Yeah, where was it? I'm right back here. No.
let me guess. You've got your Cardiff City jersey on, so obviously Cardiff is playing tonight.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah, I went on a protest like 10 years ago. When
Oh, is that a picture of you in the protest?
because protesting, but because he changed the shirt from blue to red.
Right.
Well, this reminds me of.
Oh, that's right. When they changed the Cardiff City jersey because you have certain colours on them. Yeah, I remember that actually. There was a protest about that as well. Yeah. Well, listen, Andrew.
Yeah,
It's actually been lovely having you on,
can
right?
be it.
So if you wanna come on again sometime, we do this every Friday. So if you wanna come on next Friday, and if you have anything else that you'd like to, if anything on your mind that you'd like to talk about next week, hold it till next week, and we'll bring you on again. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, and thank you for just coming on and being calm and not having a slagger match. Because listen, mate, I don't want to listen. Nobody wants to be fighting in this fandom. I think we're all sick of the fighting. At the end of the day, we all came together because we love a show called Doctor Who, and we all want it to be good. So hopefully we'll get that wish, and hopefully then, hopefully this is the start of you coming on here, being able to talk Doctor Who with us all, and we'll and don't worry, pal. Nobody in this chat or anybody on this panel will ever have a bad word to say. Okay. So listen, thanks for coming on, and I wish Cardiff the best of luck tomorrow, pal. So good luck. I'll talk to you soon, right?
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye. Bye.
And that was Andrew. Listen, Andrew, thanks for coming on. I do really appreciate that. Right, I think Charlotte was next, so I'm going to bring her on. And again, thank you, Andrew, for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know you might have been a bit nervous, but you did fantastic. Right, here she is, the one and only. Oh, no, because I'm an idiot. I removed her because the computer is a bit slow. But, oh, no, there, I did it again. Right, Charlotte, I'm going to try get you on this time.
Hello, am I here now?
Now, have we got you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yay! Yay! He is a nice young man, Chris. He is. Andrew, well done. But don't call yourself Jodie Hayter. Call yourself by your name, pal, or come up with I don't know. You could come up with a positive.
A different name.
Yeah. Don't let anybody, because people will pick on you for that, and you don't deserve to be picked on. Listen, at the end of the day, we all have our favorite doctors, and we all have doctors that we don't like. And if people are going to pick on you because you don't like a certain doctor, that's not right either. So, right, Charlotte, a lot to get through. Where would you start?
Just that I found it very interesting that it was a retrospective panel. Like, that really stood out to me. Because if they were so confident, if they were like, yeah, we're going to be here for years, like nothing's going on in the background, everything's rainbows, like would they not have had the panel focused on just like a rough idea of the future? Like we know they couldn't go into any detail because I don't think they're going to be filming in any time soon. I think that's you being a bit too optimistic, to put it lightly. But why would you not at least try and market this panel to at least sound like, yeah, we'll talk about the past and the future, but no, it's literally, let's talk about the last two series.
Yeah, I actually find it weird that, and I do agree with you, we know that they have nothing ready for Series 13, so it's not as if she can actually give us details, but Chris Chibnall himself has actually put out in an interview while he was in lockdown that he was actually working on some scripts.
Yeah, so there should be some background.
I couldn't give her a brief outlay. Well, listen, you can talk about this to a certain extent, but don't go into. I'm not giving you details, but you can give a broader view of what I'm hoping to do with the series. But there's none of that. And Lee did make a point, Charlotte, as well. There does seem to be a lot of stuff that Whittaker is doing separately, which would suggest, and I'm just saying, which would suggest it looks like it's a person, as Lee would say, that's getting ready to kind of move on to pastures. Now, how do you feel about that one, actually?
I honestly think it comes to me of she had a gap. She knew that she was going to have some extra time she probably didn't plan for originally. And she's just gone, right, she's an actress. She wants to work. She wants to be busy. So
Yeah.
it would make sense to me. She would then go, I think I heard it's a producer with possibly director stuff she could be doing. So it's like, if she's directing, she won't be able to do who? In the slightest.
Well, she is producing this motherhood movie when two people become three, and she's looking for crowdfunding for that. So she is I mean, there is evidence to suggest, and again, I will say suggest that she seems to be, she's focused on other stuff. Now, yes, you're correctly so. She is an actress. She has been in lockdown like most of us. She's probably getting itchy feet. She's probably decided, like David Tennant, because look at what David Tennant and Michael Sheen did. They did that show staged. It was all during lockdown. I think it was co-produced by his missus as well. It also starred both of their spouses in the staged. If you haven't watched it, it was on BBC. It was the only decent stuff that BBC have actually put on during the lockdown stage. So if you haven't seen it, it's got Michael Sheen, David Tennant in lockdown playing exaggerated versions of themselves. And by the way, each episode's 20 minutes long and it has a guest star, right? And without giving that away, spoiler-wise, I will just mention two of the guest stars because if I mention their names, you will probably run to it a lot faster. But we've got Dame Judi Dench in one episode, and we've got Samuel L. Jackson in another episode, and he literally takes the piss and rips the crap out of David Tennant in this. It's previous. Haven't watched it. It's on BBC iPlayer. You know I don't promote at BBC, but this show staged is well worth a look. It's the best thing that they've actually put out during lockdown, and it stars David Tennant and a doctor that I want, or a man that I want is the doctor, Michael Sheen. So go and check it out. But,
yeah, and here's another thing with the production. Here's the other thing. We've anybody who's got sources, if it's you, if it's Eddie, they've said in order to get production going, it's like a massive machine starting.
Yeah.
You're telling me they can do that next month when we've been told that scripts aren't even completed yet by Gary, by Eddie, by multiple people.
Exactly.
I don't see how they can get production going in I think it'd be a push get it by the end of this year, let alone get it October.
I agree. It's look, all the evidence would suggest that there's something else going on. But the other side can ignore it all they want. And at the end of the day, we're just analysing what's there in front of us and coming up with our own little theories. That's what fandom does anyway. But it doesn't matter what the other side say. We will soon find out either way from the BBC because, I mean, they can't stay silent for too long. I mean, they have to make some sort of announcement, especially now that they've made the announcement that she's appearing at this Comic-Con. It does sound like that there seems to be some movement on the media side of it. Them coming out now with little. Hugh Fullerton, though, I wouldn't take anything he says really serious.
Oh no, definitely.
He came up with some nonsense during this lockdown about the possibility that Series 13 could be animated. So you're listening to him saying that. Now, a lot of us did agree that would probably be the way around it. If they couldn't film, that's what they could really do. But it looks like, if we're listening to the latest news, and listening to the source news that I got and the latest articles, it looks like that there seems to be a push for a delay somehow. I don't think they're ready. I honestly don't.
Oh yeah, I think the delay is the most sensible thing out of all the rumours right now. Yeah. So I think that's the one we can all pretty much say yeah, they're not going to be able to just start again. And here's another thing I did want to quickly bring up, and I think it's the real damage that they're going to have is apathy. Because if EastEnders can come back, when if you think about how ritualistic and loyal soap watchers are, like that's something you commit to, you watch so many times a week. And if that can be off air for months and come back to 3.5 million on a live overviewing figure, and from what I can understand, I know EastEnders went woke, but I don't think it was like roiling. Like it wasn't. They didn't leave on a massive "let's annoy half our audience, let's create a load of division, let's create a load of anger." So who will be coming back after a break of some sort? This is just a special we can think about. And like Lee said, we've not seen the fallout yet. And if EastEnders takes that much of a hit, I think the BBC could look at that and this could make them panic a bit about this special. Because I think the money people and especially the people promotion-wise, I think they're a lot smarter and a lot wiser to what the fans are feeling right now. Because they have to be. Because they have to actually get involved with the fandom. And I wouldn't be surprised if they've looked at that EastEnders figure and gone, what are we going to wake up to after our special? Because the fandom is currently still fighting. We've still got stupid fights going on. We've still got... And I think that's the issue. I think the closer we get to this special, all the anger that would have fueled would have been gone and it'll just be apathy. And that's the worst thing you can have. Because people can just go, do you know what? I'm not even angry. I just don't care.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, this is what I'm saying. Even when I was given the news, I wasn't even, like, last year, as I said, I got emotionally sucked up into it. But even when I received the information, I was kind of like, all right, okay, I'll put it out there. No problem. Thank you. There was no excitement whatsoever. I just... even if they were to announce that the two of them are gone, listen, I remember last year I said I'd be celebrating jumping hoops and all, but there's nothing to celebrate. They've basically admitted that they got it wrong. And, then I'll be saying, well, you should have listened to us 3 years ago, shouldn't you? And that'll be it. But BBC then, if they want to, win us back over, they want to start making the right decisions. But as I said, the window of opportunity is closing every day.
And that's what I'm seeing online. People are just going, do you know what? I can just walk away now.
Yeah.
And
I'd never thought it, Charlotte. Did you, though, that people be so openly willing to admit that now they're actually done? They're willing to walk away.
Yeah, especially when a lot of the people I'm hearing are long-term fans saying that. They're the people who are either like me, who jumped on in 2005, so I've been watching it since then, or a lot of classic era people who came back with the revival. They're just and it's like, that's the sadness, because it's not anger. It's not like I'll watch it to see how bad it gets. It's just, do you know what? I can just put a little bow on it and just come back maybe if they bring it back in a couple, like if it dies and comes back, or it's just crazy to see that. And I think that's going to build and build, and it's by the time we get to this special, whether it's Christmas Day or they put it on New Year's.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be this collective sort of, oh right, that was on, wasn't it? Do you know, like...
That's what I mean. Chris Chibnall, I don't think, seems to understand either. The BBC or the people that are behind the production don't seem to understand. There's too much of a break as well between series or between specials and stuff. What are they? It's like as if they're deliberately trying to kill the fandom. I mean, the worst thing to do is make fans wait and not be, generous with. Not spoilers, but information that will keep the fans on the edge of their seat. I mean, there's no excitement for this special whatsoever. And we know the Daleks are in it because none has been generated whatsoever. None.
Yeah, he seems to think a vacuum of information is okay, and that's something that I think we've all commented on with his management style of being showrunner.
That generator buzz, it doesn't. It kills it. It kills it because there's nothing. So we're scrambling around. We're looking for articles. We're looking for something to talk about. Even Hugh Fullerton, who, you know, he puts out all these articles, but even look at his articles. He's even gotten to the stage where he'll write about anything now. Most of them will. They'll just write anything Doctor Who related because there's nothing coming out from where it should be coming out from.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing. Like, if he struggles to do a series a year, wouldn't you think it would be clever? And I know I've floated this before, but I've really been thinking about this. Would it not be clever, knowing you've got these gaps, to either reach out to Big Finish or reach out to somebody else and say, do you know what? You produce something to fill in these gaps. Like, have Big Finish, I know they do the audios, have them say, do you know what? You do a small animated series. Or reach out to other bits and just say, do you know what? I can't physically do spin-offs because I can't even make a show for every year. Why don't you create something that just is this nice little stopgap?
Exactly. But announcements of Time Lord Victorious and the Night, but they're too late. I mean, there's already been a big enough gap. The series is over how many months now, and we've had nothing in its place. And look, we will all appreciate that the beer bug hasn't helped the situation, and maybe there might have been more of hearing Jodie Whittaker doing interviews and stuff, or Chris Chibnall. But listen, we're living in a modern day world, and other people have gotten around that by using a little thing called modern technology, you know, that are like what we're doing right now. I'm talking to people all over the world. So there is no excuse for this team whatsoever. And I just believe when it comes to Chris Chibnall, he's just, look, that guy thinks he's some savior of Doctor Who. That's his ego. But even he has to admit that, because he used to be a fan, that this as a fan is torture. You're supposed to give us something, you know, little breadcrumbs. You don't even give us.
Especially he's doing shortened episodes, like he's not even doing 13 episodes.
Exactly. I don't know.
He's skimming on that, and then he's giving us gaps.
Yeah.
And
listen, it's going to be a very interesting time. If you would like, I know it's a while away, but if you would like to join us, because I'd like to get a few ladies on the panel for when we do the Jodie Whittaker. We're going to do it live. So it's 8 o'clock UK time, if I'm right, or 7:45 UK time, Charlotte. So if you would like to come on the panel while Whittaker and Manip are going to be talking, because we're going to be streaming it live. If you want to come on, you're more. I think
you're happy for me to have.
Yeah, the 8th of October. So you've got plenty of time. Can
I just do a really quick plug before I go? Just to something a bit positive.
I suppose I better let you. What?
No, it's not me. It's something positive.
Oh, is it? I'm only, you know, I'm only joking. Of course you can. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I've spoken about it before, but it's getting a lot more traction, and I really want people to go and watch it. Go to Beware's channel. He's done an audio, and it's such good writing. And the guy they've got voicing the Doctor, he's a really interesting interpretation, because he's a young Doctor, but I think he's got a lot of classic hints, like of past classic Doctors to him. And the chemistry is really good. It's funny, and it's some Who. And he's going to be doing 13 episodes. He's going to try once a month. He's dropping these audios. If you want some Who to put a bit of a smile on your face, listen to those. Is my recommendation.
No problem, guys. Check it out. And if anybody in the chat one of me moderators, if you could actually throw the link up to that would be fantastic. Fantastic. Charlotte, listen, it's been an absolute honor having you on. I have to get my next guest on because the last guest has actually been waiting a very, very long time. So I'll have to keep it going. And we have gone over a little bit of time. I was going to keep these an hour and a half, but because we've gone over, because the conversation is so good, we will go until the last two callers are finished. And in the meantime, we might have one special guest caller coming in. I'm just waiting to see if they get back in time. But Charlotte, listen, I will see you the weekend also for the watch-alongs. Thank you for coming on tonight.
I was going to say, do you want me? Am I on classic now? Just so I know.
Well, that is entirely you. I'm going to leave that decision to you. I would like you on the classic one, and I think a lot of people liked having you on the classic one because obviously you said you hadn't watched much of Troughton, and being honest with you, a lot of people actually wanted, it's all right, well and good getting opinions like Pete from myself that have watched it over and over, but it's nice when someone is watching it either a story for the first time like you were. So yeah, I think people were up for that, but I will leave the decision entirely up to you. If you'd like to stay on your new Who panel with your fellow guests on that, you're more than welcome. But if you want to join us for the classic, that's up to yourself. So I'll let you make that decision. Don't make it on air. I'll tell you what, think about it and send me a message later on Messenger and let me know what you decide because I don't want to put you on the spot.
Will do, mate. No problem.
No problem. Right. Listen, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. And next week we do this again. So if you want to come on again next week, this is the format from now on. Anyway, you're more than welcome. Oh, and our special last guest has actually arrived as well. So that's fantastic. Right, Charlotte, thank you very much. I'm going to bring on our next guest. I'm just going to remove Charlotte there and bring on in. He's been waiting a while, all the way from Scotland, but he's come a long way, all the way from Scarrow as well. Scottish Stavros.
Hello, how are you?
I'm not too bad. Right, we've got two more guests waiting. We've got Retro Doc, and I won't tell you who the last guest is. Don't let the cat out of the bag, boys. But Daniel, lot to talk about. Go for it.
Yeah. Right. So, like to kick things off, like, like, I'm not gonna come on here and bash Jodie with a ticker and man take out. Quite the opposite. In fact, I'm actually intrigued to find out what they have to say on this panel because if you think about it though, the word that's been bandied about is the odd retrospective of series 11 and 12. Now, I know that you can't read too much into it there, but like it would be still interesting to get Jodie and Mandeep's take on things and like how they're going to phrase it. And secondly as well, like I want to actually bring up the whole idea of the Dal X7 or in the special, right? Because like see that yeah, right, it's been done in classic Who and several times on the Big Funny Shorty was the concept of this civil war, right? And see, the fact of the matter is, it's just another example that Ish Chibnall hasn't got a creative own in his own body. He's got to go back to the older concepts and either recycle them or plagiarising. I've said this numerous times over the course of the 2 years since you've started doing this doing these own-ends and panels, and also as well, like I want to actually say as like the and like you can already see Tim Davies influence, which is a positive because now you're getting you're getting shows like Battlestar Battlestar Galactica and stuff on iPad. Yeah, now I want to make an interesting point in that. Free to feel free to chime in on this point once I've made it right. But I think like because I think the reason why shows like Battlestar Galactica are now popping up on iPod here is this whole idea of the BBC becoming commercial eventually, and having a show like Battlestar Galactica on the iPod here to as a step to say, okay, but you're going to be a commercial entity, but here's some of the content to try and get a stuff before we go to a commercial subscription service.
Yeah, do you know what? Now that you put it like that, that would actually make a lot of sense. It'd be like BBC kind of testing the waters, as you will, to see if they went down this route. Listen, they have to. They've got no choice. The TV license is going to be taken away. It is going to be decriminalized. They know this. So they must change. But I will say this, and I don't know if people, I know BritBox is an American thing that they did, but I wonder how that would affect BritBox's future when they do. I know me last guest might have some knowledge on that, or even me next guest might have some, because I'm not knowledgeable when it comes to stuff like that. But it'd be very interesting to see how that would impact BritBox after they just recently launched it. What was it, last year or the year before?
Yeah.
So BritBox is only fairly new as well. Now remember, that doesn't just have BBC shows. It also has ITV shows. But I wanted to ask you, right, we know she's coming to Comic-Con. It will be interesting. And now we've gotten two conflicting reports right now. Obviously, I broke last week that Doctor Who was postponed. Obviously, now then there was which I found kind of the timing of it was a bit, because when my news actually set fire and people were talking about on Twitter, then all of a sudden then we had an article by Hugh Fullerton then who came out and said, no, Doctor Who is actually on its way of they're getting ready for production. But of course, the Mirror have come out now and they've actually said, and by the way, the Mirror, when it's come to Doctor Who news, if you look back at their articles, they have actually been in the know to a certain level when it's come to some of these rumors. They've been spot on. So they're saying today, or it was yesterday, I don't know when the article broke, so don't quote me on that. But I do know there's an article now that comes out and backs my sources up that say that Doctor Who is postponed. So again, I will say this, even though that article does back me, and there's another article that doesn't back me, I will say what I've said at the beginning when I released this news. Nobody knows. So even the newspapers don't know. It's clear to see that there's disinformation being given out all over the shop. So nobody knows whose sources are 100% accurate, right? Or nobody knows because there are J-bots, as I said, on Twitter saying she's 100% set. Nobody knows what's happening. We don't know if the show is going into production or is not going into production. We don't know if she's staying or whether she's going. Right? Nobody knows. And anybody that's reporting it as 100% that she's staying and that she's not going, I'm sorry, they can't do that. They can't do that because the future is uncertain. Even the BBC, I don't think, know what they're doing right now because of this beer bug. And you have to say beer bug, remember, because I got into trouble doing a watch along with Daniel, and it got restricted. So, but Daniel, to move on from that though, I just wanted to ask you, because nobody's really, only I think it was Super John, our first guest, that brought it up. Dame Diana Rigg has obviously passed away, aged 82. She was in the Crimson Horror, also the Avengers. She was in Game of Thrones.
And I think she was in James Bond as well.
She was also a Bond girl. Any thought, the episode that she obviously starred in, the Crimson Horror? Is there anything you would like to add about Diana Rigg's passing there?
Her performance in the Crimson Horror kinda actually made that episode interesting.
Yeah.
Because the script itself is not as not in any means a personal favourite, but her performance was absolutely exceptional in it, though, regardless of what I think of the script. She gave an absolutely phenomenal performance. So, like, I did kind of feel sad when I heard when I heard the news, because I wasn't expecting it. It came as a shock to the system, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, 82. Apparently, if I'm correct in saying, I think it was cancer in the end, which is just goes to show what a woman. Listen, I mean, obviously, I'm a huge James Bond fan, so obviously I did see her in Her Majesty's Secret Service. I did also watch the British Avengers, so I knew of her. And I was a Game of Thrones fan up until a certain point, and obviously she was in Game of Thrones, and obviously she was in her favorite show my favorite show of all time, even though it's hurting right now, Doctor Who. And I agree with you. I thought her performance was absolutely fantastic. I do agree with you. The script was a bit of an odd one, but I did like it. I don't know. There's just something about that story that I really, really do like. And Matt Smith, I think, is Matt Smith again. Just highlights what you could do when you get the right person, right actor. Right age. He was criticized for his age, but by God, did he prove a lot of us in the fandom wrong? Because I wasn't sure about his casting, but 11 hour he won me over. But I just want one last thing before I get on my next guest, because we have two more guests. But I want to ask you if you want to make any comments on that particular Netflix movie. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of clips thrown up on Twitter, and there's been a lot of journalists defending this rubbish. Just have you any thoughts on it yourself?
Can I just say, like, they're just basically defending it because like, I'll try not get political on here, right? But like, they're basically just defending it because the characteristics of the director, because like. And like as well, it's a disgusting movie, and it just shows you how evil and sick Hollywood has always been. There's always been a dark sort of underbelly that's always been there, and and like all these organisations do have to be formed within Hollywood, because that's not acceptable. It makes me violently out of my stomach. Could you even have that Tessa Thompson coming out in it on social idea as well. It's an absolute it's an absolute disgrace that 650 girls are actually auditioned,
Yeah,
and now that is
I know.
absolutely
And
disgusting.
but hold on, do you know what? I know we're slating the directors and we're slating the casting people and we're slating the director and we're slating Netflix. But let's not forget, folks, there are 650 kids that have parents that allowed them to be put in that position in the first place. And that's what's even more sinister about this, that parents themselves that are supposed to protect their kids were willing to put their kids in this kind of disgusting environment for money. For money, nothing else and nothing more money. And every journalist and every person that defends this rubbish should be the people that should be getting cancelled. This is what cancel culture should be used for these parasites, these scumbags, these paedophile enablers, right? Can you imagine this thing is going to become huge on Netflix? Because I'll tell you why. You're going to get every paedophile from every country that's going to tune in and watch it, right? And Netflix won't give a shit because they've made money. Now, I will add that the one of the co-CEOs of Netflix was interviewed and was not pushed in the interview about the film at all. They were actually praised for the diversity that they have within Netflix, which we've actually praised as well, because they're given, they are giving shows for people that like those type of shows, but they're also giving us shows that we do like as well. So I have to give them a little bit of credit there, but then all of that's gone out the window with this. All of that. I think Turkey Netflix has demanded that it's taken down, and other countries will follow suit. And there is a hashtag cancel Netflix, and there are people defending this movie, and they're actually going after people that use this hashtag. If you're one of those people, all I'll say to you is, if you have any kids, social services, please look into their family environment, please, because I would be worried. I would be seriously worried about what those parents are allowing their kids to watch, for starters, and the type of behavior that they allow their kids to get involved in. 650 kids and their parents allowed them to do that for money. It is totally disgusting, Daniel. But Daniel, I'll have you on again as well for the panel the weekend, for the watch along. It's obviously Doomsday. It's the season finale. It's going to be a tearjerker for some.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm a bit controversial. Yeah, so
I know you're like me, but listen, I still do kind of get teary-eyed, because when I do think she's gonna die, Rose is gonna die. I remember the first time I seen it, I was devastated. I thought she was gonna die, and it is sad. It just didn't need to happen. But I do get a bit teary. So even though I hate it, I still do get a bit teary, because that's how good Russell T Davis's writing is, though. That's how good you invested.
And can I just say very quickly, thank you for keeping up the whole idea of the stream of songs, because basically you made me kind of all of with up to who again, because I enjoy hearing the commentary to the classics as well, and I enjoy taking part in the new watch along, and it's because it's because of yourself and a couple of other YouTubers I started my channel. So thanks very much again, and to those idiots that are telling you to reveal your sources, and well, take your head out your backside and stop asking him like he's got a source. He's not going to reveal it to you, idiots.
Exactly. And I'd just like to say, because there is a tweet after being put up on Twitter, I need to actually pull this person out for being a total liar, because the people here listening to me would have heard what I said. I did not say that Jodie Whittaker is still leaving. What I said is that nobody knows. So if people are saying that she's staying, they don't know that she's staying. If people are saying that she's leaving, they don't know that she's leaving. Stop with your lies, okay? And stop trying to twist it so people come onto my Twitter account to bully me for stuff that I didn't say. I will clarify again. Nobody knows whether Whittaker is leaving or not. Nobody knows whether the show was postponed or not, because if you look at the media, even they don't know, because there's conflicting stories. So shut the fuck up, yeah, and stop spreading your lies and listen to what I say. Open those ears or clean the wax out of them. One or the other. Daniel, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate having you on. Is there anything you want to briefly plug real quick before I get my next guest on?
Well, I've got my stream with Bill on it, and we're going to be talking about the Sarah Jane adventures on the 21st, which is I think it falls on yeah, so it's 7 p.m. on the night, 7 p.m.
No.
7 p.m. UK and Ireland time, and I think it's around about lunchtime Central Time. So about maybe 12 on a kill up and all time if you're in the if any of the chats in the States, but like I'll crack on and let Gary and then your mystery guest on, but thanks for having me on again, and I will see you on Sunday for Wednesday, and I'm actually looking forward to that
No, no problem. It's always a pleasure having you on, and nice plug as well. I have to actually get Blue Bonnet on at some stage again. It's been a while since we had Blue Bonnet on, but tell her I said hello anyway. I know she's doing her own thing and doing great. And Neil as well. I see Neil put something up on Facebook as well. Apparently he was approached by a radio station to do some voice work. So I want to congratulate Neil as well, who does the podcast. As you know, go and check out his channel as well. So congratulations on that one, Neil. Daniel, thanks again. I'm going to bring on my next guest. I will see you the weekend. Enjoy it as well, by the way, pal. Have a good one, legend. International treasure, as Cheryl called you. Good night, my friend.
Yeah.
See you later, pal.
Good night. Good day, sis.
Right. We've got 2 more guests to go, and we've got our next one, and it's Retro Doc. Welcome, Gary. I know you've been waiting a long time. Thank you for being so patient. It's nice to have you on board. How are you anyway?
I'm good, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastically well. I don't know where you want to start.
It's just like the old days of the call-in show.
It is. I'm liking this format now. This is the second week we've done it now, and it seems to be going very well. So fingers crossed that we can get more people on as the weeks keep going. And as you've seen there earlier on, we actually had someone on that I've never had on before that has criticized me in the past, but we were able to actually have a conversation about Doctor Who, which was nice. So yeah, it was actually. I really enjoyed it. I don't know where you want to start on the news, so I'll just let you go. Where would you like to start?
Well, let me see. Just first start out, of course, as you've mentioned, R.I.P. to Dame Diana Rigg, who I first got to know when they were syndicating, the Avengers series over here in the U.S. she's in what may be my favorite Bond film, which is On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah.
That is a tremendous movie, and she's so good in that. And if you haven't watched it, go out and watch it. I know you have, but let's see. I was amused about 10 Ways from Sunday with this New York Comic-Con announcement. Like I said in your, I think I made a comment in one of your other YouTube videos that you posted. The fact that just this effusive language they were using to describe this. They said that, well, they're going to shine a new spotlight, on and do a retrospective on these epic 2 seasons. And I had to laugh because, like I said, that's kind of like the History Channel, doing a fond look back at the Black Plague.
Yeah.
This retrospective, if they're going to do a retrospective of the best moments of the last 2 years, well, that'll take up the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I figured that, and it's going to be, and I just know now, it's going to be, some like totally like sycophantic host sucking up to Jodie and Mandeep and saying how great this era is and how fantastic. And it's like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to handle that. But, it's, I think that if they do a trailer for the festive special, or if it's just going to be a lot of talk about the episodes they've already done, kind of like looking back fondly on the good old days with a frog.
Yeah.
It's, I think this video is going to be, well, first of all, as Gary Beekler from Nerdrotic, the fantastic, Nerdrotic channel, as he was talking about, this heavily promoted Star Trek Day got, for all these videos with the TNG cast and with Patrick Stewart and stars from Voyager and Scott Bakula and all these people doing all these videos, and they're barely cracking 1,000 views after like a week.
Yeah.
And so if that's what happens after you destroy a franchise, I'm thinking they're going to be lucky to scrape past 500 views for this thing. So, but I think it's going to be, I think the only worthwhile thing that's going to come out of it, if they don't do a trailer, I think it's going to be for what she either explicitly says about the following season or how long she signed up for, or the topics they totally avoid.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the two things people look at. I think that this video, may end up, being examined closer than the Zapruder film in terms of both sides going, but she said this. No, but she didn't say this. So that's what people go, hey, Ted. Hey, Teddy. I'm wondering about, what kind of things that they're going to actually really will be talking about.
Yeah.
I think we might look forward maybe to, Jodie giving us a tour of whatever cardboard box she's going to be filming from next. Just like on that little video that we had earlier in the lockdown.
Yeah.
I think Jodie might be giving us like a special preview of the various topics that her doctor is going to be lecturing us about next season. That could be something we have to look forward to. I think that it's just, and I Neil, my personal opinion is this is why they dropped this Best Doctor survey now.
Yeah.
This totally, rigged in the tank Best Doctor survey that Radio Times did, where the first time I looked into it, Tom Baker was at 7% and Jodie was at 20%. And I'm going, okay, they have to be monkeying with the algorithms to give Jodie 2 votes for every vote that any other doctor gets. That'd be about the only way I can explain her, being so far ahead. But, and as Charlotte was saying, about, she was expressing her own doubts about, and they, film without, any scripts. And my first thought was, well, they've shot the last 2 seasons of the show without any coherent scripts. Why should they stop?
Exactly. It'd probably work out better, Gary. It would probably work out better because the actresses and the actors would be using their own intuition. Don't listen to Chris Chibnall. If you actually want Doctor Who to be successful, don't listen to him. When he told Jodie not to do the research, she shouldn't have listened to him. It's as simple as that. She should have, any good actor or actress worth their grain and salt would have actually bloody went and done the research anyway. We do hear it in interviews all the time. Well, the director told me not to look at him, but I did anyway, and I'm glad I did, and the director is glad I did. You know what I mean? But she didn't. She did after the fact. But yeah, you're right. It's going to be interesting to see what she does say and what she doesn't say. And Charlotte did bring up an excellent point. It is funny that it is just a retrospective look, and they're not looking forward to the future. We don't even know. There's no details about what's going to happen at this. Obviously, we don't even know of a trailer. I wanted to ask you, do you think yourself, because I honestly find if he wants to promote the festive special, this would be the perfect opportunity. Logically, if you are me, if I was the showrunner, this is when I would drop the trailer. But this is Chris Chibnall we're talking about, Gary. So what do you think? Do you think we'll get a trailer? And if we do, will it be like the trailer that we already got? Do you think there'll be anything new added to it?
If we were talking about RTD or Moffat, who were very used to kind of giving fans like nuggets, whether it be story titles or little one-line things or little hints or whatever to kind of entice us, then I would agree with you. I would say yes. But with Chibnall, who, for whatever reason seems to, think that all of his material are state secrets, and that he doesn't want to reveal all the little treasures too early. Who knows? I mean, I think that if they want something to come out of this event, that lasts more than a single 24-hour news cycle, it's going to have to be something like a trailer.
It would, wouldn't it?
Otherwise, by 48 hours after this thing is over, everybody will have forgotten it.
Well, nobody will care. Exactly, you're right. Oh, the only side that will care will obviously be her supporters. But what they don't realise is that's not the whole fandom. The fandom doesn't live on Twitter. They don't live on Facebook. They don't live on YouTube. They have normal, everyday lives,
right.
And you are right. The viewing figures for this will be interesting. But another thing that everybody's forgetting as well, remember they did it with Star Trek. So I just want to prepare fans, right? They might moderate the chat, right? Now, if they moderate the chat, all you're going to see is all the positive comments, right? Because they've moderated it, right? But there is also a possibility that they mightn't even allow chat on these videos. Because remember, they have been from day one protecting Miss Whittaker from any sort of negative vibe from the fans. Now, am I saying that she doesn't know that there's negative talk? Of course she knows. I'm sure there's someone even within our family or around her that's telling her that this is not going down too well with fans. With that said, Gary, there does seem to be a lot of movement with Jodie Whittaker herself. She's already put a post. Well, Manique put a post out on her behalf. She's doing this movie about motherhood. She's executive producing on it. She's looking for crowdfunding. There also might be other stuff in the pipeline in the near future as well. This looks like a woman that is either using now. Because I'm balanced this year, I will say it could be because the show is postponed for a year and she knows that she has a bit of time and she's working on these projects, or this could be a person that is making the steps away from Doctor Who's taking the first steps of walking away from Doctor Who. What is your opinion on it? which side of that particular argument would you fall on?
I would think that it's natural for any actor or any, director, producer, if they see that, the lockdown is like slowly ending, that things are very slowly ramping up. You want to start getting your irons in the fire. You don't want to just keep sitting around, waiting for somebody to call you. And I think that, there's some, people in the industry who have like multiple things going on at the time. They produce several shows, or they're getting directing gigs for several shows. And so, I think it's natural for her not to want to put all her eggs in one basket. I think that, I think it's more likely that it's going to start filming later rather than sooner. I mean, as Gary mentioned on one of his streams, Nerdrotic, that this was actually the week they were supposed to start filming. When they were talking, Noel, back in March or April, and they started putting out things like, oh, we're going to be back to shoot by September, blankety blank. This was the week that they were supposed to start shooting, and they're nowhere even close, to doing that. And now, one interesting thing that Gary also mentioned, and this may not be really indicative of anything, is that he was quoting an article that was out, an interview with Sacha Dhawan, who said that he hasn't even, he'd love to come back as the master, but he hasn't even been contacted yet. Now, I don't know when that interview was done, and it could be that they plan on bringing him back at the end of the season, which would be a reason why they haven't contacted him for the beginning of film, but who knows? But I think that's kind of indicative that, they're trying to make it seem like it's really ramping up. Whoever the
Hugh Fullerton always comes out with articles. Hugh Fullerton,
right, and he says production is getting going. Well, actually, you could even qualify that finishing writing a script is kind of helping the production get going if you really want to kind of stretch it out a bit. It doesn't mean that they're ready to roll cameras. So I think that they're kind of playing fast and loose with the language of things that you're using. But one more thing I want to say about the New York Comic-Con. First of all, and this may be just my not reading the articles closely enough, has there been any indication that it's actually going to be live? Because I'm thinking this could just be a pre-recorded interview with the interviewer and the two of them, and they just toss it out.
I actually think that could be a possibility, because we haven't gotten any indication that this is live. But in saying that, though, New York, well, they could. We'll know. See, it's going to be very hard, because we know that that there's some movement on the lockdown. So we don't know if Jodie Whittaker and Monique Gill were able to be in the same room together, or whether they filmed at home. Listen, I say a pre-record would be their safest bet. If I was BBC myself, I would say, listen, we're not putting this out live. There's just too many risks involved.
Yeah, no.
So let's put it out as a pre-record. And pretend it's live, because they can get away with that. Like, nobody would know it was live or not. You know what I mean? They could just have a live intro and then just whack on the pre-record, and nobody would know any different.
Right. I will say though that if I was the interviewer, I thought of a couple questions I'd love to ask. One of my first questions would be to Jodie. Why do you think you weren't part of the big Time Lord Victorious event? I know she wouldn't answer that.
Yeah, listen, she's not going to answer any hard questions.
No, okay, you're right. Here's be an easy question. I would go to both of them. I would say, you know what? I'd love to let me play a word association game with each of you. I'll say a word, and you tell me the first thing that leaps into your mind. Right. And I would have words like, my first thing would be train wreck. Or disaster. I'd also one of my words for word association would be plank. I'd be kind of interested in seeing what they would say to that. Mork. I would want to see what they associate. Things like that. Just kind of have fun with it. But I'm not sure that they'd take it
Yeah,
that way.
I think if you said plank, though, I think they just both of them would look at you.
No, you know
blankly.
what? Hey, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if I said plank and one of them said Noel because they associate you with the creation of that term? That'd be great.
That would be great, but never happened in a million years. Right,
But you know, I will say, yeah, just a quick last couple things. I will say that if there, and you alluded to this yourself earlier, I think if there is a new lockdown in the UK, I think it's over. I think that it's going to be over. I mean, they're already talking about 2022, even in the best of circumstances. If you guys lock it down over there, it's done.
It's a game over, yeah.
It's game over. And you know, one really quick thing about Davey is that because I think you alluded to in one of your videos this week that he'd ordered, unless I'm mistaken, that he ordered some kind of like report, you know, kind of like an overview report to kind of see like the state of things.
Yeah.
And I would think that especially if you know, all this is in preparation for the BBC going commercial, I think that you would want to basically get one of your top shows, which I'm looking at the you know, the entity Doctor Who itself, not the current era, but the show which has the merchandising, which has the legacy and all of that. I would think that Davey would want to basically do what it took to get the show in the best shape possible before you do the switch to commercial. You don't want to have something like Doctor Who basically still on life support.
Yeah.
When you make that switch to commercial, you basically want to have it be in the best possible shape before that happens. So I would think that whatever date that they put on themselves to do this switch to commercial is probably like a deadline, can also be looked at as a deadline that he has set to kind of get this whole thing back in order.
Yeah. Do you know what though, Gary? I will have to say these next couple of weeks are certainly going to be very interesting, leading up to this Comic-Con event. And then the days after are going to be very interesting because there's going to be a lot of analysis. You are right. You are right. There's going to be a lot of analysis and a breakdown of what the two of them say. And people are going to analyze every single word because it'll be interesting. But I will say to those people out there, again, nobody should be gloating right now because nobody knows. We just don't know yet. And this is the intriguing thing. Do you know what? I'm actually enjoying this, believe it or not. I didn't think I would, but I'm actually enjoying this right now. Being in the unknown and not known is great.
It's kind of like Christmas Eve.
There is a bit of excitement about it because, you know, look, either way, look, it could all go pear-shaped, right? And I've never said 100% this year that she's gone because I'm not making the same mistake. But, you know, if she doesn't go and he doesn't go, you know, there's been excitement generated right now over this. I am actually excited, not in the terms that you would think. I'm just excited because I want to get to that day because I'm going to be live streaming and have a panel. So if anybody wants to come on with me while I'm live streaming, come on and we'll analyze it ourselves and watch live, and we'll break it down. Absolutely. And we'll even go back after it's finished and go through each segment if we have to see what the story is.
We can be like, ooh, she paused before she said that. What does that mean? Yeah, we can go into the weeds on that.
The fandom's been always about, Gary, and you know what? You know this as well because you've been around a long time. You know, you've seen the fandom, you've seen what it's been like. You know, you've seen the decades of. This is the thing that we live for as fans. All this rumor.
Oh, I know.
It's what we live for. And the other side just don't get. They're all sourpusses because they think there might be some truth in some of the rumors out there and they're scared. And all I'll say is, yes, you should be. The fact that it is even being talked about, and this is what I've said right from the beginning, the fact that it's even being talked about, you should sit up and take notice. I'm not saying
right.
she's going. I'm not saying that the show is not going to go into production next week or the week after or whatever Hugh Fullerton said, but there are contradictory reports, right? The Mirror backs me up. Hugh Fullerton doesn't back me up, obviously, right? So the Mirror got it right on the timeless children. It's up to yourselves who you want to believe. All I'm saying is, though, and I can put my hand up and say it, though, it doesn't matter who you believe because BBC will make the announcement when it needs to be made. And to be quite honest with you, nobody has a clue. There's different factions within the BBC and different factions giving out news. We don't know what is 100% accurate because nobody can make that statement right now. So
that's exactly right. Well, listen, you know what? No, I'm off. But before I go, just like in the old days, I'm going to leave you with a riddle. Here we go. Here's my riddle for today. What do you call fake spaghetti?
What do you call fake spaghetti?
Give up?
No. Yeah.
An impasta.
Oh, for God's sake.
Just like the old days, Noel.
Oh, I love it. Are you joining me for tomorrow's classic?
Oh, of course. You bet. For the demons.
Right. I'll send you the link just so I know. Okay. Listen,
All
Gary.
right. So long, pal.
You on. It's been fabulous. I'll talk to you again very, very soon, pal.
All right.
And we've got our last guest on tonight. And he's waited a while. But some of you know him as the Trigger Train. And the Trigger Train has recently come back to life. And if I'm correct in saying since we've been on, he has actually dropped a Doctor Who video. So I will be watching it right after this. But I have to say, it's good to have him back. It's good to see that his channel is back now because, you know, we all love him. He's my friend. I'm honored to call him a friend. Listen, when I'm trying to sort my channel and all out, Ballstrek is the one that's helped me along. I got this notification thing now. He's baffled by it as well. But yeah, I have to go and fix that because that's annoying me. But let's bring him on because all this recent news, let's see what he actually has to say about it. So it's my pleasure to bring on the main man himself, all the way from Canada. Ballstrek, nice to have you here. How are you?
My dog just pooped out a ketchup packet. I don't know when she ate it, but yeah.
Wow.
How are you doing?
That's a great way to start the stream. Wow. So yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I just put up my first Doctor Who video since June, and my friends that found me on Twitter, I thought they'd forgotten about me.
No,
so,
unfortunately, because you have been away, I might as well just fill you in the some of the things that are happening. There's a Twitter account that has been set up specifically just to target yourself, me, Rabbi, or anybody else that has.
Is that our friend? What's his name?
Yeah,
Elias?
Doctor Who. So what's happened is anytime you post that now, it's being retweeted or screenshot and put on that account. So yeah, my advice to you is, and listen, we're all doing it, and it's better. Just block them because this is what this account wants. They just want to create drama. So you're just better off. I had to block 20 of them today. I've blocked over 500. I don't know where they're all sock accounts. They're not all, different people. They're all sock accounts. But yeah, they've upped their game now. They're getting nastier. They're going after everybody. Philip Morris, Eddie Ascaro, myself, you, Rabbi. Funnily enough, though, they kept away from some of the bigger members of the Fandom Menace. But you know why that is? Because, they wouldn't dare go after people that would actually be able to destroy them. Well, not that we wouldn't be able to. But,
I don't know. The goat might be getting excited.
Yeah, well, the goat has plenty. If you just go onto that account, there's plenty there to keep the goat occupied for about 6 months. You've got 6 months of material there.
Oh, well, damn. Well, I'll have to tell them. Yay.
Yeah.
So put up the first Doctor Who video since June. It's actually doing quite well. It just became the #1 of my last 10 videos. So
lovely. You deserve it. But what's it? Can I ask you, because I haven't looked at it yet, buddy? Is it Is it got to do with the recent goings on in the world of Doctor Who, or have you?
It's my Doctor Who videos are now essentially just making fun of Doctor Who. This is, well, I'm not going to call it Doctor Who. I'm going to call it Doctor Shit. That's going to be our name for today.
Okay.
Okay, so Doctor Shit. So Doctor Shit may be returning in 2022. And my answer to this is I don't give a shit. We had the debate raging on as to whether or not Whittaker was going to stay throughout the summer, which I didn't really take part in because I was on vacation. But I wanted to see how it was going to play out anyway. But I figured they're going to do everything they can to keep Dr. Nasty there. The new controller, whatever his name is, he is planning on canceling some of the woke comedies, but this is also the BBC, so unfortunately he's probably going to have a false Me Too accusation thrown at him, and they're going to do everything they can to cancel him. So look at it this way. When the BBC loses its license fee and has to go full commercial and actually generate a profit, these talentless checkmark hire hacks at every level, they're going to be exited. So what they're going to do before then is double and triple down on everything they can.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to give up on Doctor Who until they have to. Now, it's kind of funny because I looked at a couple different articles saying, they can't come back in 2021 because there's not enough time. Now, I don't care when they come back because it's going to be shit. But I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, so rumors are that I'll use the word hacks, may be doing as few as 6 episodes. So we're September 2020. So you're telling me that you're so incompetent, so inept, so clueless, so unqualified for your jobs that you can't do 6 episodes between now and, say, this time next year.
Yeah.
Star Trek used to do 26 episodes a year.
Yeah.
And it was a hell of a lot better than this with practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
So I just find the whole, like, I'm completely invested now. So I find the whole thing hilarious.
Yeah, a few of me guests have actually brought it up though. It is kind of even the behavior. Like, I mean, as we said, we're getting conflicting reports, right? So if you were to listen to Hugh Fullerton, he said last week that no, the series was on the verge of going into production. Now, I did also last week before he came out with that ridiculous article. I had actually received some news which I put out there and have gotten.
Oh, I think we lost
in the UK have backed me up. So yeah, no problem. So what I'm trying to say to people is that are listening, and while Ballstreck is doing what he's doing, I'll just talk. But what I'm trying to say to people is, I'm not saying I'm right. I don't know if my sources are right and if I'm right. But Hugh Fullerton's side and the people that support Hugh Fullerton's article cannot say the same thing either. They cannot claim that it is. Nobody knows. There's conflicting reports coming out of everywhere. There's also conflicting reports saying that she's going after the special. Some have obviously come out and dismissed that 100%. Some are saying she's leaving after series 13. Some are saying that she's staying series 14 and 15. We don't know. There's too many conflicting reports, and until BBC actually come out and officially announce something, then everything that everybody's being told from both sides, including myself, has to be taken as rumor and speculation. Nobody can say 100%, like, oh, you made that mistake last year. I said I'm not making it again this year, and I'm not. I cannot say with 100% certainty that all of the information that I've been given is gonna come true. All I can do is give it to you and let you then discuss it and us discuss it and then see what other news comes out. Because you always notice when news does comes out from sources, then all of a sudden we get all these articles.
Well, I think, Noel, what we can say for certainty
go on.
is that this is 100% a complete shit show. And the reason it's a shit show is because even they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
My speculation is there will be a third series with Jodie Whittaker. They will bankrupt the existing BBC to make it happen because they can't have her have fewer seasons than her male peers. And they're not going to let her go without what they would assume is dignity. And this is the problem with the BBC. They had mass turnover a few years ago, then hired only based on diversity and equity and excluded straight white males from working there at pretty much any level unless you're privileged like Chibs. So you have a corporation now filled with unqualified people that didn't earn their jobs, don't understand their jobs. All they are there to do is preach messages. And messages aside, if you look at the state of Doctor Who right now, because keep in mind when when Chibs came in, he got rid of the entire production team.
Yeah,
that was behind Moffat and RTD.
The successful eras, and let's be honest, they were successful eras. We know we have our problems with Moffat's era, but they were successful commercially.
Well, I'm not even talking commercially. I'm talking in terms of the basic production. If you compare just visually,
right,
any Chibs era episode to anything from the Moffat era, which was the only era that was filmed entirely in high definition, the Moffat era looks better. It sounds better. It was better directed. If you look at a Chibs episode from a technical standpoint, even from filming techniques, the focus is soft. The colors are soft. It looks dull. Just put it side by side with anything from the Moffat era. It's night and day.
I agree with you.
So this is what happens when you have people that don't know what the hell they're doing beyond just the moralizing and the bad acting.
Yeah.
You can tell that the people behind the production have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
You can tell that the directors have no idea what they're doing. Episodes are badly paced. Line delivery across the board, often even from good actors, is completely awkward. Sonically, it's Akinola literally mashing a keyboard. He doesn't make music. He makes noise. Anybody can do that. Lexi, my husky, who just pooped out the ketchup package, could do the same thing Akinola does. And this is what happens when you hire not based on merit. You have people at every level that don't know what they're doing. This is why it takes them 11 months to come up with 10 substandard episodes that look and sound like complete shit. So they're going to make sure this happens. But it's hilarious. Say if the rumors about 6 episodes are true, they're actually saying that they can't do a 6 or even 10 episode season.
Yeah, I know.
In a year.
I know.
How incompetent do you have to be?
Exactly.
Well, you have to be somebody that was hired not because of your merit, but because you checked a box and because you had the right views.
But Ballstreck, let's also make it clear though, if this was the time frame and the writing was actually up to par and we actually had some good stories, we actually wouldn't mind waiting, but we've been delivered nothing but 2 bad seasons. And I think
we've had to wait before. There was the year of the specials, which was the first time it was held back. There was also season 7, which technically it's two completely different seasons.
It is.
It's season 7 in name only. Even the title sequence changes halfway through. The TARDIS, everything changes.
7A and 7B people call. Yeah.
It's I think the only reason that it's called season 7 was because if the BBC at the time had come out and told people, yeah, you're only getting a 5-episode season in 2012, people would have lost their shit, even though they did that in 2009, but they called them specials. So we've had this before, but like I said, I don't care when it airs. Doctor Who, aside from a miracle, aside from the BBC being privatized and everybody at every level being shown the door, you have people come in, and I would say you'd have to have people come in from the States that have nothing to do with the BBC to help run things, because I think that's how badly entrenched this stuff is within the entire British television and film industry. You would have to find some way to retcon or just completely disassociate the Whittaker era. You'd have to give the best story. You'd have to give stories that are equivalent to the Hinchcliffe Holmes era.
Yeah.
But even then, you're not going to win. I'd say at least 50% of your former fans off, because they've been turned off, and audiences are very fickle.
Yeah.
They're not going to come back.
And
so
I never see it
it's beyond fixing at this point. So all we could do is make fun of it, and that's all I'm going to do. That's all today's video was.
It's actually sad that we have come to this, because there was no reason for BBC to actually let this happen. We have got a $10 super chat from Alpha Omega, and he says, bonjour to Noel, Ballstreck, and everyone. You should have actually spoke French the whole way, like through that super chat. So it's bonjour. How do you say my name in French again, Ballstreck?
You may be surprised by this.
I'm only ripping the G, by the way. Go ahead.
No, you could be Noël, which is French for Christmas.
Yeah, that's
which means that you're an evil bastard.
Thank you.
You're associated with Christmas. You're canceled. Go away.
I'm cancelled. Okay. Is Ballstreck the same in English as it is in French?
C'est le Ballstreck.
Oh.
Oh, oui.
Ooh.
Beaucoup de personnes me détestent.
Right, we shouldn't have started them off, but thank you very much, Alpha Omega. You knew exactly what you were doing with that super chat. You knew as soon as you put up a bit of French, Bowley would start Frenching away there. Guess who I had on earlier on, actually?
I caught that while I was organizing some stuff. So who was on?
We had Andrew Jones, the notorious we'd call him a troll, but I don't think he is. I just think.
Do I know him?
Yeah, do you remember he used to troll your video, say that his dad and his mum love Doctor Who and all and stuff.
I've had so many of them. I can't keep them straight.
Yeah, you've had run-ins with him. We've even Gary has, but he came on. He was nice and polite. He got his points across. He actually doesn't like the show the way it is now. He actually
nobody can objectively like the show the way it is right now. The show is shit.
But he did. He sounds like he's angry with himself, because he did at one stage like the show, and I says, listen, everybody is gonna like something, and then
there's nothing wrong with that. Exactly. I was the exception, because I'd been reading into things for a while. So in 2017, I was, I think me, Matrix Lord, and Dave Cullen are the only three I can think of that were speaking out against what we were seeing. Yeah. You can be perfectly forgiven for, especially with Series 11, thinking it was going to be better. A lot of people, including me to a certain extent, were fooled by the woman who fell to Earth, because I thought the performance was regenerative psychosis. Then in the second episode, we saw how bad it is. And keep in mind, even though the later Moffat series, especially Series 10, in my opinion, were good. So you'd had, at that point, this was 2018, so you'd had 13 years of decent Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And to the layman and to the people that don't follow BBC politics, it's, I could see why you'd accept that it wasn't going to be as bad as it was. And I can see there being some denial in there. especially for the first few episodes. But for a lot of us, Rosa was like, oh crap, that's where they're going with this. Then Arachnids in the UK came. Oh, double crap, this is even worse. Then the Pating came, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the worst episode I've ever seen, which I believe I've said 6 or 7 times in the past few years. So I don't fault anyone for having the wool pulled over their eyes with Series 11. And a lot of people, even when it finished, they're like, yeah, this is still good. But I think in the year plus that we had in between 11 and 12, a lot of people went back and revisited it and realized, wow, this isn't good. And then you had Series 12, where it's, even with Spyfall, some people were tricked again. I wasn't, but a lot of people were. But I think by the end of that series, even the people with the highest degree of denial, by the time you saw what they did with the Timeless Children, which is effectively ruined the show.
Yeah.
By that point, it's like, oh my God, what have they done?
Yeah. And you still get people defending that. But you did mention something there just a second about a Series 10. I actually want to do a stream someday, and if you're interested as well.
Well, to be honest, I haven't really watched Series 10 since it was aired.
Yeah, that's what. But I was thinking maybe we could do a watch along of it or so, because
it's a lot of the episodes. To be honest,
I want to defend Series 10. Series 10 gets an awful lot of stick.
Well, yes, no, honestly, no, I don't even remember most of the episodes. I just remember hating them at the time.
Some of the stories are great. Tin Ice I thought was a good story.
Wait, that's the one where the doctor went back to punch a racist?
Yeah, he punched a racist. Yeah, I know, but rightly so. I mean, look, okay, it was becoming forced and all that, but it's at least with Moffat. Let's be honest. He tried to do it in a way within the story that actually, it wasn't so. It's not as the way Chibnall does it. Chibnall does it all wrong. It's at least with Moffat, when he was forced to do it, he tried to put it in and do it correctly within the show. I think Series 10 gets an awful lot of stick. I don't like the pilot. I think that's a crap episode. But I love Smile. I love the second episode.
I do remember. The sexist food comment was ridiculous, but I do actually. I did have a Doctor Who feel to it. Now, keep in mind, Noel, it's been 3.5 years since that series aired. Most of those episodes I have not watched since. So I actually, at this point, with my failing memory, I don't when I go back to revisit Classic Who. I haven't even made it through half of the Blu-ray. In fact, I don't think I've rewatched. I think I may have rewatched 2 episodes. So I actually remember very little about Series 10 at this point. So it might be an interesting experiment to go back and watch it. Like I have a lot of my old videos have been taken down, but my Series 10 reviews are still up. So it might be interesting to see what I thought 3.5 years ago versus what I think now.
Now, exactly.
And we didn't know because the Whittaker casting announcement was made about a week after Series 10 ended. So when I was watching them, we had no idea what was going on. Although I think near the end of my last review for this series finale with Missy and the Master, I remember saying, I hope no bullshit is going to go on with the regeneration announcement. Then a week later, I was proven wrong. Yeah. So that's a line that either aged very good or very badly, depending on how you look at it.
Right, but listen, we've got. I do want to, because we have discussed Whittaker. I don't want to discuss her anymore, but I do want to actually talk to you about Dame Diana Rigg, who passed away 82. Obviously, she was in the Crimson Horror Avengers, which I think you've actually watched as well, the British Avengers. She was also in the remake, apparently, of All Creatures Great and Small, and she was a Bond girl in obviously George Lazenby's Only Elton as James Bond, and she was in Game of Thrones and many other stuff. Daniel was only talking about it actually when he was on about her performance in the Crimson Horror, and he said it was basically one of those it stood out. He thinks her performance elevated to a certain point the script. You've watched her in Game of Thrones as well. I mean, she is a terrific actress. It's such as 82. I know, you know, 82. Some people say, well, that's a life lived, but it's never nice to see someone pass away. But what a terrific talent!
Yeah. Well, I the only things that I know of her in was the Crimson Horror, which by that point, Doctor Who was definitely having issues. That's when the narrative problems really started. But it was in Series 7B, it was one of the standouts, and I do remember that performance. And then, of course, we all remember her for Game of Thrones. I've never actually, I know I'm a peel, but I've never actually watched the original Avengers. I've just seen that god awful 1998 movie with.
Yeah.
And I've seen On Her Majesty's Secret Service, although a lot of those older Bonds, I think it's been probably 20 years since I've seen that.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it's she. So I can only really base it off some of the acting later in her career, and I haven't watched the remake of All Creatures Great and Small because I've pretty much unconsciously boycotted all current British TV. Well, actually, I boycotted most current TV.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, she was an incredibly talented actress and was one of the standouts during the Moffat years, especially in the later Matt Smith series. So yeah, it's obviously when she was younger, she was quite easy on the eyes while she was a Bond girl. So you have to be. But yeah, it's not somebody that I knew all that well, but from what I've seen, great actress.
Yeah.
And it's and 82 is good innings. I the way I've lived, God knows if I'd make it that far. But yeah, it's no matter how old you are, it always sucks. Yeah.
But here, I will ask you about something, obviously, that you will actually have been made aware of. So obviously, a few weeks back, we had seen all the controversy surrounding Netflix when it came to the public light that they were actually going to feature a movie called Cuties on their
Did you see my video about that, Noel?
I have. I think I left a comment.
I was on vacation, Noel. I wasn't going to post anything in August.
Yeah.
But I saw that trailer, and the video was obviously demonetized instantly on upload, so I made nothing in August, but I didn't care. That was for me an exception. You won't see a whole lot of sarcasm in that video, but it's sometimes you'll see something come up and you can't remain silent. So that was a one-off during my vacation. I think it's absolutely disgusting. I'm appalled that Netflix put it out there. It is softcore child. I'll say the P word because I don't want to get you in trouble. But it's from some of the screenshots I've seen come up on Twitter. I shouldn't say this should be illegal. Technically, what we're seeing is illegal. It comes off as child P. It comes off as grooming. It's when I watched that trailer, and I think it was the first time I'd heard about it was Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers put up I think he was the first one to put up a video. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I went and looked at the trailer. I wish I hadn't looked at the trailer. There are no screenshots from that trailer in my video. There are no shots of the poster. I just put up the logo. Right now we have the cancel Netflix movement going. People are not happy about this. This is a bad move. And I think unless you are a complete degenerate, like some of the professional pretenders that are supporting this filth, I think both sides, even say from both sides of our Doctor Who argument, aside from the major degenerates, I think this is one thing that we can agree on. Actually, I did agree with a lot of people I normally disagree with on this. This is absolutely disgusting. And I'm not one to virtue signal. I say what I think, and I don't really care what other people think. But if you want to accuse me of virtue signaling for denouncing this video, for denouncing this movie, calling it sick and calling it disgusting, then frankly, fine. I'm perfectly capable of being accused of virtue signaling in this instance.
Yes.
I can put up with a lot of stuff. But there's some things that I will not put up with. One is child pee. The other one is animal abuse. Things like that is where I draw the line. And for me and a lot of people, this was a line drawn.
Yeah.
So, and I think the people, I believe, I haven't actually watched the video yet, but I think Scott Mendelson spoke out in support of this. I would say cancel Scott Mendelson, because if you're, I have questions about anybody that supports this.
Well, they said
I'll echo what Jeremy said too, just before I finish, Noel. If you support this, I don't want you as a viewer. Get the hell off my channel.
Yeah, and I would second that. But the people that are coming out supporting it are accusing the people that are criticizing it like us as fanatical right-wing extremists.
This has nothing to do with right wing. This has to do with sexualizing 11-year-old girls.
Yeah,
I'll say what I said in my video. That has never been okay. That is not okay. I hope to God that's never okay in the future. I'm not an extreme right winger. I'm a centrist. Whenever I take the political tests, socially I'm slightly center right. Economically, I'm slightly center left, but I'm basically in the center. Speaking out against this is not right wing extremism, because you will have the far left, the degenerates will support this. But you also have what was the traditional left, which we call traditional liberalism, which has nothing to do with the identity politics we're seeing now. I haven't seen any traditional liberals supporting this either.
No.
So this isn't a conservative, Republican, traditional liberalism issue. This is something that we can all agree on.
Yeah.
But those that are supporting this seem to come from the far degenerate left.
Yeah. Tessa Thompson would be one of them. She's actually come out in support of it.
Oh, she's a piece of shit.
But I think the most controversial thing about this is, and I said this earlier on in the stream, yes, we can have a go at Netflix. We can have a go at the director and the people behind this movie. We can even have a go at the casting people behind this movie. But the parents, 650 kids, their parents allowed them to be subjected to this for money.
Yep.
For money. So their parents are just as bad.
It's child abuse. This is child abuse.
It is spot on. It's one of the, listen, there's another thing that was on Amazon Prime called Pedophile, which I highlighted on the channel. Apparently this one is to try to make us understand that these people are human beings and they need to be.
I'm just gonna pull up Prime right now. Prime video.
It's called Pedophile. It's a short movie that they did. It's I don't
even want to type this into the search engine. Okay.
I know because it's a bit of a
okay, so I don't think it's available in Canada. It's not coming up.
I put the picture up, but I don't really want to put the picture up.
Don't put it up. But yeah, there is
out in this crap. But
there are attempts on the left to try and normalize
exactly.
Word. See, here's the thing. Okay, it is proven. I think scientifically proven that it is a mental illness. But I'm sorry, if you suffer from this, there are treatments available. It's the same thing as having schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And not taking medication and putting your family at risk. It's that type of thing. I'm like, it sucks. Yes, it does suck a lot that you've been afflicted with this. But at the same time, it will never be okay. You have to deal with it. You have to seek counseling. You have to get medication. But what's even worse, and I think we said this in a stream previously, is what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. What we said previously is this will also entice these people. It's like being an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You know, you could be on the wagon for years. All it takes is that one drink, and then you're off the wagon. So, and I'm not going to say this could happen. I'm going to say this will happen, is you will have one of these individuals that will be set off by this movie and go back into doing nasty things. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say on it. That's my
yeah, I agree.
and I think Rosie G12. And there's an argument as well, not buying the mental illness defense. It's just depraved behavior. And in many cases it is.
It is, yeah.
Because if you look at it, there are cases where, you know, somebody got maybe twisted in their head, but there are also many cases, Mr. Epstein, and Hollywood elite, those that are in power. And I think it does come from Hollywood celebrities is a good example of this. People that have been glorified their whole lives, people that like power, and they want to find ways to use that power, and that's where the degeneracy also comes in.
Right, someone has just put up, I don't know how you put up a positive review of Cuties, but this whole thing, this whole topic makes me uncomfortable. Listen, here's where I stand on it, because you've obviously given your 2 cents on it. So I'm going to be clear about this. If this is a mental illness like the scientists are trying to tell us, that's fine. But some of these people know that they have a mental illness and then still go out and abuse kids. Those people don't deserve retribution. Yes, we should help people that are in this and that haven't acted on the impulse. Yes, we help those people, rehabilitate those people. But people that have already crossed the line, I'm sorry, there's no redemption for them.
No, you're not stupid. You know it's wrong.
Exactly. So no. I don't know.
In 2020, there's no way that he say if. And I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to pretend to be a scientist like some Hollywood professional pretenders try to be. But yeah, even if it is a mental illness, or in some cases, if it is, you know that this is not acceptable. It's 2020. You can't use the excuse, oh, I didn't know it was wrong. Oh, no, you knew it was wrong.
Exactly. You're a grown-ass adult, right? You might have a chemical imbalance in the brain, but you're still capable of making right and wrong decisions. And you're also fully responsible for those decisions. I don't buy into all this. But this whole thing does kind of make me feel uncomfortable, because you are right. There does seem in the last few years especially, there seems to be a push to kind of, you know, loosen the straps as you will.
Yeah,
pedophiles are not that bad. It's okay. It's just they need help. Or, oh, it's okay to have drag queens reading story to your kids in schools and completely mess up their minds. You know, it's okay to have, you know what I mean? Will you leave it out?
Well, it's no. You ask anybody that's actually worked with these people. Gary Beekler is a great example because he has worked with them. The kind of degeneracy that you see in Hollywood, and these are not good people.
Yeah.
These are not good people at all. And those that make the most noise are those that you have to watch out for.
Yeah.
So look at the people that are making the most noise on the left and question, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
And then you'll have your answer. Exactly. And the stories keep coming out over and over again of people that you wouldn't even expect. And it's the same thing. And if the Epstein list ever comes out, good God. Right. This is why I think, and what I hope, is that the current situation, because Hollywood has collapsed under the current situation of the past year. Hollywood has collapsed, what I would like to see going forward is a focus on making good product, good movies, good TV shows. Get rid of celebrity. Celebrity is dead.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the circle of the 30 or so people that we have to see in every other movie over and over again, year after year, these are the only 30 people that can act? And a lot of them are actually not good actors to begin with.
Yeah.
No, you have thousands of people out there that can act. Focus on the story. Focus on casting. Find
Exactly.
people that aren't celebrities, that aren't going to spew their twisted politics, that are going to focus on the craft, focus on the art, like we do. That I think that's why I like horror so much, because it's more of a niche genre, and you don't see as many big name actors. Where, say, if it's an action movie or a comic book movie, but focus on the film, focus on independent actors, hire them, give them a chance. These celebrities that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, push them to the side. And I think society really saw this with that Imagine video.
That's stupid, bloody yeah. Ricky Gervais ripped them a new one for that. You're right, bunch of bloody. Listen, they need to be important. They need to feel wanted and important. And this lockdown just showed how
we don't need to see them.
Yeah.
As somebody that loves independent cinema, that loves horror, there are so many brilliant actors out there that don't see the time of day, or don't get the time of day from Hollywood. Well, get rid of Hollywood. Move it out of California. It doesn't cost what it used to cost to make movies. Rather than give Tom Hanks $10 million, you pay somebody else, Scott, even $1 million to a no-name actor. That's
exactly
income for a lifetime, and focus on the craft, focus on the art.
Yeah, you're right. There is a pool of these actors that always seem to get the big jobs and stuff in all the movies. And you're right, it's always the same people. We do want variety, so that's how.
Wait, am I seeing? So this is from Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, so he said to the backlash.
Mostly P-word free. What the fuck does that even mean?
Netflix,
mostly.
Yeah, so Netflix, he's actually quoting Netflix here. So Netflix says it's important to remember that our content is mostly that word free.
When was that posted?
I'm just have to check in his Twitter account now.
Can we see the date?
The date.
So that was today. So Netflix put that up today. What the fuck?
Yeah, Netflix put that up today. Hold on, I'll tell you when now, because the date is different. I think they put it up yesterday.
Okay. Why is the FBI investigating Netflix?
Because
that is an omission.
I know. That's why
I should say an admission of guilt.
That's what I wanted to show you. They've actually admitted. They've actually admitted right now, and the post.
This is September 24 says I won't mention the name because the last person who did ended up dead. Oh, we know who that is. That individual is more terrifying in real life than any character he's ever portrayed.
Because I know you're probably going to do a video on this, so if you want the exact time of the tweet, it was 7:34, September 10th, and it was on Netflix official account. So there you go. Netflix have openly admitted that some of their content. That's basically what that means, right? Don't be fooled by the wording, right? Our content is mostly. So there's some content you're admitting freely that is.
Netflix just admitted to a crime.
There you go. So that's
on Twitter, on their official account.
There you go.
Yeah, and like Colin P. Smith says, and the protests have been mostly peaceful. Another 2 left lines.
Oh, I tell you so.
Fuck Netflix. Whenever I think Netflix is improving, they pull shit like this.
Listen, and the co-CEO apparently was interviewed either today or yesterday, and they were praised for their strides and their gains in diversity, but was never questioned once about the controversy surrounding that movie that we will not name anymore. But it just goes to show you, though, that these people are being shielded by the media as well. The media needs to be calling this crap out. Ballstreck is right. They've just admitted to a crime. That's a crime.
Just to draw an example, or one example before we go. So 2 years ago, Roseanne was canceled for a drug-induced tweet, which, if you look at the whole context and the story behind it, we've seen a lot worse than that. But she tweeted what she did, which I'm not saying I approve of, but she was canceled for tweeting that out. And we all know the background of the story. I've got a couple videos on it. So she's canceled, killed off her show.
Yeah.
So somebody on the right misspeaks in a drug-induced semi-coma on Twitter. So her life is destroyed. She's canceled. Netflix just admitted to this.
Yeah.
And everything's fine. Why? Yeah. Because they lean left.
Exactly. And it's disgusting. And listen, I agree with you with the whole role. I didn't necessarily agree with what she said, but should she have had her show? No, certainly not so. It's ridiculous.
I guess Leah actually just made a comment. I think what they're saying is some film content may have characters that are the P word. It could be taken that way, but
it's a bit, but come on,
this is a gray line.
Stretch, come on. I think it is a bit of a stretch. Listen, these scumbags need to be called out for this, because this is what will happen, right? And Ballstreck would back me on this, and even you'll back me on this. If they get away with this, right, and they don't take it down, there'll be more and more of this content. But not only more and more, it'll be more severe. It will get worse with each product that they put out, with each time they
if they're enabled by this,
they'll keep testing the water by making it even more controversial than the next one, and before you know it, we've got full-blown pedophilia.
This is testing the waters.
Damn.
And it's
I've
horrifying.
said the P word. It's too late anyway. But you get me.
Yeah, I believe we both said it. So.
Doesn't matter. The stream was probably done ages ago anyway. But that's what will happen. This is what they do. They test the waters. Ballstreck is right. They always do this. They test it. They did it with Doctor Who with Missy. Missy was a test. They were testing to see.
Well, but we don't want to conflate the two things.
No,
as well.
I'm not comparing. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's not the first time that organizations like this test the water. They have tested the water in these ways before, and I'm telling you now, Cuties is just the start.
One thing we can say is Doctor Who has never done anything illegal. They've just done things that have pissed us off and destroyed the show.
Which is completely different, which is right. You're right to say, and I shouldn't have probably made. You're right. I shouldn't have but I was just using it as an example of how they do test the water. They do this all the time. So Cuties is not going to be the first, and as I said as well,
even though it's not a Hollywood film, it's a French film, but it's the Hollywood culture. So I think this is a prime example of why Hollywood, as it is, needs to die.
Yeah.
As a film fan, that's what I'm advocating for. I want Hollywood to die.
Yeah.
And I want film to go back to being about the story. Nobody is worth, like, look at what some of these celebrities are worth. And I've seen a comment, or saw a comment in your stream as well. Nobody's worth that much money. Nobody.
No, you're right. You're right. I even made a comment now. When I think about the comment I made, I was probably like, I was saying, no, actually, even though he does do his own stunts, he doesn't deserve the millions that he gets for doing the films. But you can understand why he gets it. Tom Cruise, because he does do his own stunts.
And he's he's not woke because he has his own crazy ideology. But still, it's like Tom Cruise. I like his movies, but why does it always have to be Tom Cruise?
Exactly. No, I agree with you 100%. And why always these big movie fees that they get? They don't need that much money. They're supposed to be there because they love the craft, right? It's not supposed to be about money. It's all about negotiations and all this and contracts and get away. Yeah, I agree with Ballstrike. I'd love it to go back to the way it was early cinema, the way it was back in Charlie Chaplin's time. Yeah, I'd even love to see some silent movies being made again. To be quite honest with you,
Well, I'd like silent movies, but I'd like the rest of the industry to go the way, generally, but not always, the horror genre goes. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that there isn't woke stuff in the horror genre. Black Christmas is an example, or the remake. Good God.
Exactly, but you don't need a load of money to make a successful movie.
No, the average production is $5 million.
Yeah, even Hollywood has proven in the past that
they're not big. Most of them are not big name actors, but they do perfectly fine.
Exactly, it can work, and I agree with you. I think they do need to go back to that style of thinking for this industry to survive. Because listen, right now, if there is a chance of Hollywood, kind of changing, this is the time. This is unprecedented what's happening right now globally. So it's affecting everything. So if there ever was an opportunity for Hollywood to say reinvent itself, this would be the perfect opportunity for them. But here's the thing: is there a will within Hollywood to change? And I think Falstrek will give you the answer. My simple answer would be, I don't think there is a will for Hollywood to change.
Not with the people that are in charge now. But if they collapse, well, told you so.
Yeah, and they'll deserve it because they haven't been treating the audiences well for years now. Do you know what? The funny thing about it is, it doesn't cost much to put a smile on our faces. I mean, you look at the movies of the past and the TV, the show of the past, even the likes of Doctor Who. Like, they might not have the best the best sets, or they had shaky cameras and stuff like that, but it was the stories that always shone through. And I just wish that Hollywood would go back, especially those people that like writing stories and creating. I just wish it'd go back to that instead of all of this identity politics and all that other nonsense that they want to insert. Listen, if you still want to do that, fine. But don't be going after, and I think I've said this loads of times, I think we all have, blue in the face saying it, but don't be going after well-established franchises to do that. The thing that we criticize Hollywood the most for is their lack of creativity. I mean, you see with Disney now, they just seem to be doing live action after live action after live action. Now, the Mulan movie has caused an awful lot of controversy recently because obviously the actress has come out in support of the regime.
The movie is apparently terrible.
Yeah, and apparently the movie is not that great either. But it just goes to show you the lack of ambition. They're talking about, I don't know if you heard this, Paulstrick, but before we leave, because this one is really going to
I think I've used up more than my 10 minutes. I gotta go soon.
Yeah, well, we're done anyway. But the RoboCop, there's apparently a RoboCop spin-off prequel in the works, which won't feature RoboCop but will be called RoboCop. Any thoughts on that briefly before we leave?
I haven't heard of that, but I'll have to look up a RoboCop movie that doesn't feature RoboCop.
Yeah, they're doing. I think.
Well, we've had 3 years of Doctor Who that doesn't feature the Doctor, so I guess that's possible.
Yeah. Unless it's following the cop before he becomes RoboCop.
It might be, and that might be an interesting story, maybe depending on how it's done.
Yeah, it could be Murphy himself and his partner. Oh, what you know what? If it's done properly, and it leads up into, and they do it in a way that leads up to the original trilogy, fine. I do have a problem with the other two movies, but RoboCop, the very first movie, is a masterpiece.
Oh God, I think I own it like 3 times.
Yeah, and then they ruined it with the updated version. Now, don't get me wrong, I know it gets slated a lot, and it deserves to be slated, but I don't think it's as bad as everybody.
No, it isn't. They had a good idea, but it was very badly executed.
Badly executed. Michael Keaton was in it. I thought he was actually rather good in it, but there was an interesting concept that was just poorly executed. I don't think that should be the end of any sort of chance of RoboCop coming back. But again, we do have those 3 original movies, and then we got the short, what was it, the 3 TV movies with the other actor playing RoboCop, which were all right. They weren't great, but we got enough RoboCop. I think. I don't think we need any more. But this prequel sounds interesting, but I don't know why you call it. You should call it Murphy. You shouldn't call it RoboCop. If it's going to be about the cop himself, you should call it Murphy or something. You shouldn't name it RoboCop. It doesn't.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm assuming it's just in development right now, so the name would probably change.
Yeah. Right, Ballstreck, I know you have to go, but you want to shout out your channel because you're obviously back now.
Oh, yeah. So I have this channel thing. I make videos. They make people mad. I have this Twitter. It makes people even more mad. People forgot about me because I hadn't made a Doctor Who video in 3 months, and well, people are getting mad about that too. So follow me on Twitter, and there's a whole discussion going on about me right now. Well, I really don't care. But anyways, I must leave, y'all.
Right, no problem. Just before you do briefly go, are you on tomorrow for the Classic Who?
Yes. Now and sadly, because I picked this one, there is a chance I might be a bit late again because I got some stuff I've got to do in the morning.
Right.
So 50-50, I'll be there on time. I will be there for the whole episode. But yes, I will be there tomorrow.
No problem. Okay. Listen, you look after yourself. Enjoy your weekend, mate. And I'll see you soon.
Okay, take care, my friends.
I'll see you later. See you later. And guys, that is it for the Tardis Zone Talks for this Friday night. We've actually went over the time, but that's because we had such amazing guests. And I know Ballstreck was on a little bit longer than the rest is, but it's always a pleasure when we get him on. You know, he's a very busy man. He's just recently moved and stuff, so it was great to have him on. But this is the format for every Friday now. It's not going to change. This is a new thing. It's the Tardis Zone Talks. It's where you guys get to talk about the topics that we bring up. And also, if there's any topics that you guys would like to bring up also, that is no problem at all. We will hone it. We will try tighten it up a little bit. I might bring the timers back because people like the timers, so everybody gets equal airtime. Of course, if we get a guest like Gary or Ballstreck on, obviously I'm going to give them a little bit more time because you know it's always great to have them on when we do because we do be very busy. So yeah, and I know Friday Night Tights is on now. We've gone a little bit over. So if you want to go over or check out Ballstreck's new video first before you leave here, and then go out and check out Friday Night Tights. This is the idea for this show is to basically have a bit of an alternative before Friday Night Tights start. We always start a couple of hours before Friday Night Tights. So I was thinking, you know, maybe some of those people that get ready to go and watch Friday Night Tights could probably come here while they're waiting and come in and chat and get involved. You listen, we don't just talk about Doctor Who on the Tardis Zone Talks. Every topic is open for discussion. It's just obviously recently with all the news and the goings on, it did focus mostly on Doctor Who. But this is the new format. So if anybody that wasn't on tonight would like to come on, and any of you guests that were on tonight would like to come on again, this is the format for every Friday. So I hope you have enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed this. You know, I'm loving this. It's a bit more relaxing for me as well. I can just let everybody that comes on say their piece, and then if I have a question to ask, it's quite easy. It's better than having us all on the panel talking over each other. At least everybody gets a chance now. Because I'm you know me, I'm mad for doing that. I don't mean it, but someone will say something and I feel the urge to pop in there and say something, and then sometimes everybody wants to, so we talk over each other. So this way, you will all get a chance to have you say uninterrupted, unless I interrupt you, of course. But I'm getting there. I'm getting better. I have to say. I think I am. I'm trying my best not to. Yeah, I'm loving this format. So remember, this weekend, if I'm correct in saying, is the last weekend for the watch-alongs for Doctor Who for 2 weeks. Rabbi has it's a Jewish holiday, I think. So for 2 weeks, Rabbi will not be available. So we're gonna wait until he comes back, because we'll be doing season 3 when he comes back, and we'll be continuing with the classic Who. And as I said, during the week, you'll be getting more videos with me doing articles and stuff like that, because I have to be honest, I really did enjoy uh, the video, the late night one that I did for you, is reading out the article and stuff and talking about Jodie Whittaker doing the Comic Con. It was nice to be able to do one and get reaction. So yeah, I'll be doing a lot of them. It's Jewish New Year, that's what it is. Thank you, problem being, and my apologies, Rabbi. But we will have Rabbi back in after this week. It'll be a 2-week break, and then we'll be back on the 3rd week, and we'll be kicking off with season 3 with a bang. Yes, Smith and Jones will be on that, and I can't wait. Can't wait. Season 3 of New Who was one of my favorites. Season 3 and 4. Actually, we go on a bit of a good roll now, because we get season 3, season 4. Now we will watch the David Tennant specials, but season 5, I think we get on a nice little roll with those. I think they're 3 superb seasons. Not a fan of the specials up to a point. Was what that's just me. I wasn't a fan of David Tennant specials. To be honest, I did. Water and Mars is the standout, and I do like the Dead Planet. Is that the one? Yeah, I think it's the Dead Planet. Yeah, I do like that one. That's actually not bad. So yeah, and Gridlock is a good one. Daniel, you're right. Right, I'm not going to spend too long saying goodnight. Listen, thanks everybody for the super chats. Thanks everybody for contributing in the chat as well. To me moderators, Chris, I know you're gone off to do Friday Night Tights. Thank you, Daniel, problem being, and the rest of me moderators in the chat. Thank you very much for keeping the chat nice and safe for everybody. I really do appreciate it. And listen, guys, we will be back tomorrow. We've got a great weekend lined up. It's the Doctor Who epic weekend. I don't know if you've seen the little trailer. I actually put the 2 trailers together this week, and it's up on YouTube now. I just thought I'd put the 2 of them together, and I think it works quite well. Everybody that made a comment on it is looking forward to. So we got an epic weekend coming. So come and join us, because it's going to be really, really fun. And then, as I said, you'll have me back on Monday, and I'm sure there'll be more shenanigans going on. And don't forget, don't check out Eddie of Scarrow's channel tomorrow. Talk to Doctor. They might actually have some news for you. I don't know if it's Doctor Who related, but he did cancel tonight's show. Because I was originally going to start at 7, but that's the time I think he starts, between 6:30 and 7. So I pushed mine a bit later, because I didn't want to clash with Eddie, because Eddie has also been very supportive of this channel. So I didn't want to interfere with that. But it turned out that he cancelled, so he's on tomorrow instead. I just hope he's not on. He doesn't go on the same time as their watch along. But if he does, I'm sure someone will pop in to see what he has to say and can let us know in the chat. But don't forget to look out for him, and don't forget to subscribe to all my guests tonight. There's some wonderful guests that we have, and problem being as well. If you want a bit of work done for your channel, any trailers or stuff like that, or rebranding of your channel, he's your man. Good reasonable prices there. I will always give Lee a shout out there because he's responsible for the trailer and the rebranding of my channel, and I am absolutely grateful for everything that he has done. And he's always had me back as well. So yeah, if you're looking for a bit of work, Problem Being is your man if you want your channel rebranded. And to all my guests tonight, again, absolutely fantastic. Love yous all. Thank you for coming on. And I'll leave yous with Leah's wonderful trailer. Until tomorrow, stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. And remember, guys, remember, life is too short. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. Listen, this is going to be a hell of a ride these next few weeks and months. This is my favourite part, believe it or not, to the Doctor Who fandom when news starts trickling out, because you kind of have to, as a YouTuber like myself and others out there, you kind of have to you put the news out there, but then at the same time you're kind of trying to make sense of it, and you're trying to figure out, you're listening to other people's news, and then you're trying to figure out where this fits in with this, that, and this is the exciting part. Nobody knows, and nobody knows right now. And I don't think it's been like this for a while. We've always gotten some indications that some people might be right and some people might be wrong. But when you're getting conflicting reports after conflicting reports, one newspaper backing me up, another newspaper backing others up, it's, it is exciting. I'm sorry, but I'm actually really excited. You can hear it, can't you? I'm actually really excited. This is the best part of the fandom for me, this news. I remember when I used to be one of those, like yous ourselves, that used to sit back and listen to other YouTubers, and I'd be really excited. This is the exciting part. Even though the series, I don't like the series, I could still get excited about the news and about the rumor, about the gossip, and different articles. That's what it's all about, and that'll never change for me. It doesn't matter whose Doctor Who it is. It'll never change. It'll never change. That excitement will never go. It'll never go, because no matter what, right? And I said it tonight, Chris Chibnall has ripped my heart out. He's broke my heart over this show. He's destroyed something that I absolutely love and adore, and has actually helped me greatly. And I still feel like a little kid at Christmas when we get to this period of the fandom. It doesn't matter how bad the show is. The news is what we get excited. And listen, we're not excited about the era, but I do be excited about this part. I just want the show to be what it once was, and hopefully one day we will get that. And with that, I'm going to leave you now. Good night. God bless. Stay safe. And listen, look after yourselves, all right? See you tomorrow.
Thank you.